Good morning, friends. Thanks for dropping in. We got Joe King Rogue and Z Raven Girl in already. Good to see y'all. I am feeling pretty good this morning, having my coffee. Hey, Laura, good to see you. So, yeah, I thought we would go over some more text messages. We got through April 15th last time. We'll see how many days we can get through here. Hey, Pippadot, good to see you in. It kind of seems like they were having a little reprieve. They weren't exactly fighting every single day. Dom seemed kind of resigned to things. So I'm curious to see how long that lasts. Gonna sip of my coffee and let's pull up the text messages. Here we are. Okay, so the 16th start right after midnight. And we read into these just slightly on the last live because I was laughing about the fact that Mackenzie is telling him after midnight on April 16th, 2020, Playboy Cardi's song is trash. It's like, okay, not bad, but not good. Read that. And Dom says, I don't care anymore. Now, the reason that is interesting is those pictures of Mackenzie at the party where they're dressed up in corpse makeup. That is Playboy Cardi's costume. And I'm pretty sure Natalie Sharilla said at one point she was doing that to honor Dom or something like that because Playboy Cardi was his favorite artist. If anyone knows different, correct me in the comments because I'm saying that strictly just off memory and I could be incorrect. I've got to sneeze real quick. Sorry, friends. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Rainbow Ribbons, 1970. My hubby coming in to say hi. He has started a fitness channel, y'all. I'm going to share later. Working on his body. Okay, back to the messages. So yeah, I just thought it was weird. Like here they're talking about Playboy Cardi. Granted, this is 2 years before the crash. He might have changed his mind on Playboy Cardi again. But I just thought it was odd that, Dom saying, I don't care if his song is trash and all that. So, and Mackenzie says, it's just so fucked at this point. I for real laughed out loud at that vid. Dom said the noise. Mackenzie says, yes, wanna chill? Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, what you doing? Dom says, just drove past your house. Mackenzie says, come get me, LOL. Dom says, I can't. Mackenzie says, when you done, want to hang and get Shinto? Dom says, Shinto hurts my stomach. Mackenzie said, okay, then let's just hang. It low-key does sometimes too. I want to hang soon. When you're done with runs, come get me. Baby, I'm really bored. Babe, answer, please. Those texts those came in over the period of an hour. Dom says, I don't know if I want to hang. Mackenzie says, oh, that's fine. If not, what you doing? And I'm drawing a surprise. Don't leave me on red. And those came in the period of 11 minutes. Dom says it was by accident. Mackenzie says, well, answer, LOL, and look at Insta. Dom says, okay, I don't think it loading. Mackenzie says, okay, you're going to love it. And what you doing? Dom says, just got home. Mackenzie says, I've been drawing for long after AF. Dom says, what you drawing? Mackenzie says, that one little Uzi thing. I'm doing me now. I have to do shadows after. Dom says, okay. He does not sound interested in her art at all, sadly. Mackenzie says, want to hang later tonight? Babe, it's done. Okay, nice, not answering. And those came in over a period of about 2 hours. So Dom's getting back to, ignoring her and, he's telling her, I don't know if I want to hang later. And she's still being insistent like usual, although she's not completely like flipping out like usual. Mackenzie says, or no, Dom says, I was doing stuff. Mackenzie says, did you see the drawing? Dom says, LMAO, that's funny as F. Mackenzie says, it's funny your way of saying you love it. Can you stop ignoring me and slow replying? Dom says, stop fucking spamming me. And yes. Mackenzie says, I was about to say because that drawing took like 2 hours. After I eat, do you want to hang and watch movies? Babe, text back. Sad face. I'm trying to have a convo. I don't know why you taking so long to answer. Dom says, I couldn't find my phone. LOL. I ate more edibles. I'm really fried. Mackenzie says, LOL, that's the most fried shit. I want to eat one, hang, watch movies, or play Mortal, or do back. BAC. What's that? Anyway, she says Mortal Kombat. Oh, maybe she meant to type Mortal Kombat and it did Mortal Do Back with the auto crap. Dom says, not Mortal Kombat, but I'll play some games. Mackenzie says, LOL, want to hang right now? Babe, I can come through right now. Dom says, not right now, but soon. Mackenzie says, can I come at 8:40? Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, not too late, please. I'm tired. If I'm tired, I won't want to play. You should just let me come now. Dom, what about now? Dom, what about now? Bab, text me back. Dom says, maybe. I'm chilling with Angelo and Ashish. Mackenzie says, Dom, you told me we can chill soon. Like, it's been soon, and you can't just tell me yes and then start chilling with other people. Like, just let me come now, and you can hang with them. Dom, for real. Really, this shit is so annoying. If you didn't want to hang, you should have just said, yeah, I'll play some games. Then, yeah, soon, like? Dom says, okay, fine, you can come hang. Mackenzie says, okay, on my way. Where you at? I'm in your room. It's funny how you can just ignore me all day. When I finally come to your house after you could say we could play video games, you just make me watch you play 2K for hours. I'm in your room so you can come say sorry. Or you can keep being like that. Okay, those came in over a period of about 2.5 hours. So it seems like Mackenzie got there because she says, okay, I'm on my way at 2050. And then at 2056, she says, where are you at? 2057, I'm in your room. And then about 2.5 hours later, she says, it's funny how you can just ignore me all day. And then when I finally come to your house, after you say we can play video games, you just make me watch you play for 2 hours. I'm in your room, so you can come say sorry. So he finally let her go there, but he was playing. And so she got mad and pouted off to his room. I mean, that's very 15 of her, which is her age, but yeah, it's so weird to try and analyze their relationship, if you can even call it that, in messages, because they just don't make any sense, friends. There's definitely a lot of emotional, ABUSE going on here. Go check the chat. Hey, Stacia01, good to see you. Shorty Pie, good morning. Good to see you in here. Oh, Amos Hi-Fi. We got Amos Hi-Fi too. Good to see you, Amos. Okay, let me switch back. Okay, Dom replies to that with, what? Mackenzie says, read. Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, I don't know what WTF wrong with you. You were so rude for no reason. Dom says, not trying to. Mackenzie says, maybe try a lot harder because you tell me I can come over and we're going to play video games. And then you just have me watch you play 2K. Wow, so fun. So what you going to do? Come in here and apologize or keep acting rude? Dom says, that's not what happened, but okay. Mackenzie says, then what happened? So you're not going to come apologize? I swear to God. Dom says, no, I'm not. Mackenzie says, you're a fucking D. If you don't, I'm going to come back into that room and just kill the mood. So you can come say sorry or keep being like that. Dom says, you already did before. Yeah, see, she's there. She didn't like it once she got there. She didn't like Dom's mood or what he was doing. And so she's throwing a fit and saying, I'm going to come kill the mood. And Dom says, you already did that. Mackenzie says, when? The F? When you started being rude? Okay, I'll just come back in right now. And that's the end of their messages on the 16th. What the hell? Oh my God. They just literally do this all the time. And Dom keeps trying to end it, to stop it. He's not completely innocent in the fact that he will kind of give in and lead her on and stuff. And also, there's the fact that she's 15 and he's 18, and he knows that's wrong because he told her that's why he tells people that they don't F. But yeah, it's just very, very weird. Let me get a drink of coffee. And we start on the 17th. So it looks like at Almost 1 p.m. at 12:49, Mackenzie sends, "Morning, Bab." And Dom sends, "GM." I guess he's saying General Motors to her too. Mackenzie says, "I just played with Cam for like an hour. That dad made me sleep so long, LMAO. Do you want to hang soon? Dom." Dom says, "I don't know." Mackenzie says, "I thought we were chilling today. I asked you last night if we could chill earlier today, and you said sure, probably. So you want to hang around 3 or 3:30?" Dom says, "Well, I don't know. I'm just chilling now." He probably said that to stop her fight last night because she was clearly having a little fit. Mackenzie says, "LOL, well, it's 3 now, so I can come right now or in 30. I'm trying to come over." Dom says, "No, I want to chill alone for a little." Mackenzie says, "Then we can chill at 4. Dom says, "Do you have my little polo hoodie?" Mackenzie says, "What one?" Dom says, "Black one." Mackenzie says, "The jacket?" Dom says, "The hoodie." Mackenzie says, "Let me look. I don't think I do. Like you're talking about the black with the light bluish polo logo?" Dom says, "Black with gray logo." Mackenzie says, "I don't have it." Dom says, "Okay, it's gone." Mackenzie says, "What?" Dom says, "I don't know where it is. Topher probably has it." Mackenzie says, "What if it just got mixed up in the laundry? Or maybe it's in your car." Dom says, "I found it." Mackenzie says, "Bet." Dom says, "It was in Angelo's room." Mackenzie says, "Where was it? I'm glad you found it. That's one of my faves that you wear. But you never answered about chilling at 4." Dom says, "I don't want to." Mackenzie says, "Oh, damn, I thought we were going to chill and take dabs today. We talked about it last night." Oh, Dom, here you go. He says, "I might want to later." Dom, you know you're not going to want to later. Anyway, Mackenzie says, "Did you see how snowy it is? When is it going to be warm?" Dom says, "Yeah, it kind of sucks." Mackenzie says, "I got a quick question. I don't want to text it though. It's about some shit. Please answer ASAP. I need to know. Trying to hang right now?" Dom says, "LOL." Mackenzie says, "Do you want to chill now?" Dom says, "Maybe. I'm playing 2K though." Mackenzie says, "I'll watch. I don't really care. I just want to hang with you. I'll try to play one round with you. I'm bored as shit. Please just let me come. LMAO." Dom says, "Not right now." Mackenzie says, "Please now. You told me last night we can hang early today, and it's not even early anymore, so please just let me come now. Dom, for real, please. Dom." He says, "I'm just playing 2K though." Mackenzie says, "Dom, I don't care. I just want to sit there and watch. I literally told you I will play around with you. Like, just let me come. Like you said yes to hanging early, but now it's 6. This is stressing me out. Can you please answer?" Dom says, "I don't want to chill right now, though." Mackenzie says, "Like, I've been waiting all day and I thought you were going to let me come over early. You told me last night, Dom. You literally told me last night that we can hang early. I'm about to freak out." Dom says, "Why?" Mackenzie says, "Why? Because you told me early and I thought you were serious. Then you make me wait all day and say no. Like, let me come. You shouldn't have told me yes if you didn't want to hang. Like, I don't get why this is so hard. Like, my head feels like it's about to fucking explode. You told me we could come hang and take dabs tomorrow. Like, this is whack. I literally told you I will just sit and watch you play 2K like 4 times, and you're still being like this. Just let me come hang out." And those messages all came in over a period of 2 minutes. Dom says, "No." Mackenzie says, "WTF, really, Dom? So when you tell me we can chill, I'm just going to have to sit there and wonder if you really mean it. Like, hell nah. You are not about to ditch me after you already said we can hang and take dabs." Y'all notice how she keeps throwing in the take dabs? "Literally yesterday, you told me you would stop being rude, and here you are doing it again. I told you this is stressing me out, and you're still going to do this to me? I don't know why you do this shit to me." Dom says, "I don't like your attitude." Mackenzie says, "I have no attitude, Dom. I'm upset." She said that in all caps. Oh my God, she has no attitude? Dear Lord. I'm still on my first cup of coffee, y'all. I'll have to take a break and get a second one in a minute. Let me check comments real quick. Irreverent Elizabeth. Does Dom F other people? She says he did while they were on a break. She brings that up a lot. And she tells him a lot that she's worried when he wants time alone that she's cheating, which that's a normal teenage thing. Everyone thinks that when their partner wants time alone when you're young and insecure that they're cheating. So, I don't know if he cheats after that or not because we haven't gotten that far into it. Rainbow ribbons, let me go over there so you can love me. Yeah, right. Hey, Dorothy Bird, good morning. Amos says, Rainbow, I hope you're using your GRB voice for do you want to build a snowman? Do you want to build a snowman? Irreverent Elizabeth says, it seems odd he's telling his friends they don't sleep together and him not to be seeing other girls. Well, he is telling his certain people that he thinks might turn him in because he's in statutory grounds. 16 is the age of consent in Ohio, and he's over 18 and she's 15. So he explained to Mackenzie in that text, he said, we don't, I'm 18, saying don't document this or verify it. Shorty Pie says, no attitude. Dang, imagine if she had one, right? Oh man. Shorty Pie. Yeah, it does. I was just being silly. General Motors. It does mean good morning. Amos says, damn, I bet she was pinning every hope on that hoodie being in her possession at that time. Like keywords, Kinsey, probably maybe aren't definitive. Yeah, she really should know at this point. I would think that when he says maybe, probably, or we'll see, like it's a no. It's a no. Like give up, move on. Hey, Ruth Carroll, I didn't see you in there earlier. Good to see you. Rainbow Roof is General Motors. Yeah, it was definitely good morning, but oh. Ruth Carroll says, I can't help feeling sorry for her, so needy, want to give her a slap, like some tough love, Ruth. I feel like if her parents would have given her a little bit of tough love, like, God, I remember Mackenzie saying in just a few days before text she read, she's like, I showed my mom this, and she says that the only thing I need to work on is my compassion. Where she's going crazy nuts on Dom, and that was Natalie's take on it. And that was in their 2020 text. So that pattern with Natalie of excusing everything Mackenzie did had been around for quite a while. Yeah, Stacia, it was 100% like the Ross and Rachel break. And Mackenzie tells Dom that's why she doesn't ever want to go on a break again. Oh, yeah, she did. I'm pretty positive. Like her texts don't explicitly say it, but I believe that she threatens him with that through implications. And also, she directly threatens to tell about his dealings. She says over and over if he breaks up with her, that she's going to the police. Compassion is what she said. Yeah. I think obsession would have been definitely where she needed to focus on doing work. JK says, my brain goes to general manager. General manager to you too. Okay, let me jump back to these messages. Yeah, okay, so in all caps, Mackenzie, I have no attitude, Dom. I'm upset. She says, do you think I'm gonna just be like, oh, okay, when you ditch me for the 300th time? Like, shit hurts. I was looking forward to taking dabs and hanging with you. Oh, she changed their order. She was saying hanging and taking dabs, and now it's taking dabs and hanging with you. I think that was a bit of a Freudian slip. She says, because last night you just made me watch you play 2K for a while. Just hang with me, Dom. You told me yes. Last night, I'm not trying to have an attitude with you. I just don't like getting ditched. She sent those in a period of 2 minutes. Dom says, maybe chill on the spam. Mackenzie says, let me come now. You can't just keep saying maybe like you have been all day. Like I've been ready to go for a while because I thought early meant like 1 to 3, but I guess not. Dom says, no. She says, Dom. He says, no. She says, in all caps, WTF, like, why do you have to ditch me every time you make a promise? Like, every time I just have to go through getting ditched. Like, you think you can just be mean to me all day and keep ditching me and telling me shit that you know you're not going to do. Dom says, stop spamming me. She says, you're probably sitting there doing that smirk you did when I was crying so hard. I'll for real never forget that. Like, I feel like you like to see me hurt sometimes. You get my hopes up and then you get my hopes up to hang, then you make me wait, then you finally tell me no when I've been waiting for you all day. You don't know how it feels to be ditched and treated like shit most of the time, but I do because I'm the one sitting here feeling empty. Now, there is a point where Mackenzie is speaking truth there. He does lead her on with the maybes and stuff. And I would be tempted to feel sorry for her in that if we hadn't just read 3.5 months of him trying to break up with her and her threatening to go to the police immediately if he does. So we know he just feels absolutely trapped as hell. So what else is he gonna do? Like, yeah, he it's crazy. I have no words more than what I just said on that. Shorty Pie says she wants the dabs more than Dom. I agree. I think that was the whole Sharilla family's problem, not her little sister, just the parents and Mackenzie, because it was real clear from some of the texts, in my opinion, that it sounded like the Dom is her dad's dealer. He's clearly hers. And they don't want Dom out of their life because then they have to go find another dealer, in my opinion. Rainbow Ribbon says, I bet she feels more like a baby sister than a girlfriend. Yeah, or like an annoying little cousin he has to babysit. Other than the fact that he is sexually attracted to her, I don't think Dom was weird in that way. So I want to make that clear. Pippadot says, right, Shorty Pie, she's the girl who can take all the rugs and not die, right? Yeah, she made that clear on her social media. Hey, Garfield. Garfield loves lasagna. Haven't caught a live in forever. It's good to see you back in. Rainbow Ribbons. About her social media, a lot of people are like, those are just memes and stuff, whatever. But I don't know. I feel like when you're actually like using your face, your body, you're not just sharing a post that someone else made or did or whatever. You're lip syncing or mouthing or dressing up for something. Like, I just feel like people need to be more aware that that's always going to be viewed as an action you take yourself, whether it's a trend or not. You know what I mean, friends? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew that's what you meant, Rainbow. It's just after I said that, I felt like since I'm the one speaking, in the live here, I need to make it clear that's not what we meant. But yeah, I'm sure Mackenzie well, he says that a lot, that she's extremely emotionally draining to him and that he needs space, he needs a break, and that it wears him down. Okay. Dom says, okay. And Mackenzie says, wow. Then you reply like that. Maybe if you said a little more than okay when I spill my heart out, I would feel a lot better. Let me come over, Dom. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, so you're just not going to read what I said? Question. I swear to effing God, you treat me so shit. Remember when I asked you to treat me how I treat you and you said you will try? This isn't trying at all. I'm about to come over. I'm not letting you ditch me. Okay, see you soon. Those came in a period of 2 minutes again. Dom says, I'll just dip. Why you do this? Mackenzie says, why you lie to me and say we can hang and say we're going to have a fun day and then me wait, then say no. Dom, do you not know? Answer phone. Dom says, that's not what I do, but okay. Mackenzie says, Dom, you told me last night before I left that we can hang out and take dabs tomorrow. I asked you and you said yes. You shouldn't have told me yes if you weren't going to do this, if you were just going to do this to me. You don't know how bad it hurt. Dom says, maybe because you were throwing a fit. Mackenzie says, how? Because you told me no after you told me we can chill and take dabs? You got my hopes up for nothing. That should never happen, and you shouldn't like to see me like this. You should want to see me. You should want me to be happy. Like, answer more than okay. Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, please hang out with me, Dom. Really, if you say, I don't know, that's for real such an immature move. After I just asked you to say more. Dom says, stop. Mackenzie says, Dom, say more than one word. Dom says, just let me play video games. If you weren't trying to argue with me so much, we could probably chill. And Mackenzie says in all caps, I'm not trying to argue. I never am. Dom says, but I'm never going to let you come over if you're acting like this. Mackenzie says, I'm chill now. I've been chill. This is in the same minute where she sent those all caps. I'm not trying to argue. I never am. She says, I'm chill now. I've been chill. I want to hang with you like you told me we could. Please let me come over at 7:30, please. Dom says, leave me alone for a little. Mackenzie says, I'll just chill. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, Dom, then 8. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, I'll leave you alone when you give me a time. When are we taking dabs and hanging? Dom says, never giving you a time again. Not making plans no more. That's where he needs to stand on that. He needs to stand on that. We know sadly that he doesn't, because this goes on for 2 more years, but I would just love to see this poor guy stand on that. Even if it meant he had to take a charge, he'd still be alive, and then he would have a chance to correct the problems that he was having here. Mackenzie has a chance to correct all of her issues in prison, and instead, she's apparently acting the same way based on her phone calls with her mom. Pippadot says she wears me out. Right? I can't imagine how she wore him out. Shorty Pie says she was quick with them fingers. She was. Like, she could send so many texts in 1 minute. Like, it's crazy. Rainbow Ribbon says she calls him immature. I cannot. Right? Yeah. Shorty Pie is thinking the exact same thing. She says, not Mackenzie, speaking on him being immature. Oh, man. Mackenzie says, WTF? Dom says, yeah, because you just flip out. Mackenzie says, I flip out when you ditch me. How about you tell me early in the day that you don't want it? Dom says, no plans, no ditch. I do. Mackenzie says, no, you don't. Dom says, you ask me and I say no. Mackenzie says, you say maybe. Maybe is more yes than no. Dom says, and then you say, please, 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 please. And then I say maybe. Mackenzie says, like you has me waiting all day. I didn't know you would pull this. Dom says, I do when you act like this. Mackenzie says, I literally just asked you to hang. You pulled it before I was flipping out at all. Dom says, I didn't care. Mackenzie says, you don't care that you ditched me before I was flipping out? That makes no sense. Like, you can't keep saying sorry, then doing the same thing again. Then the sorry just means nothing. I told you, I'll just watch you play 2K until you don't want to play anymore. Like, I just want to hang. Oh, she's changed that up a little. He let her come over the night before, and she got pissed off and went into his room and had a little fit because he was playing 2K. Then today, she started saying, I'll watch you play and I'll play 1 round. And now she says, I'll just watch you play. Dom says, stop spamming. Mackenzie says, I could care less what we do. I just wanted to hang out like you said we could. How about you read what I'm saying because you're being rude again? Read it. Dom says, I'm not trying to. Mackenzie says, well, when I spill my emotions out to you and you reply, stop spamming, okay or no, it hurt. Listen, just let me come hang at 8. I'll leave you alone till then. Then you can be on your way of fixing the ditching me issue. Fixing the ditching me issue. Wow, you really on D&D now. Oh, shit, D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons. I live in a world of cold steel.
In case we have anyone new in the chat, for the longest time, myself and most everyone here in the chat, every time she said you're on D&D, we thought he was playing Dungeons and Dragons, and that she was like seeing him online on active on like a Dungeons and Dragons game or something, like a group chat or something. And that revealed that, the majority of us, we're all a bunch of big nerds here, and we like that. We're good with our nerddom. But we had one lone non-nerd in the chat who was like, no, millennial, she means he's on Do Not Disturb. Oh, okay, Rainbow Ribbon's in with the correction. No, it was just 1980s. We're not nerds. Okay, Rainbow, okay. Oh, man. Pippadot says her parents both equally as bad. Yeah, they really, really are. I almost said for real, like Kenzie. I've been reading her too much. 1970 will come complain to y'all if I start calling him Bab. JK says, it really is so sad. Teenage relationships are supposed to be fun and sweet. Kids just don't act like this unless they're messed in the head. I do agree there. They should have had boundaries on their relationship to not be treating it like this. Mackenzie should have not been allowed to be putting her total focus into him like that. She should have been forced by her parents to have some activities of her own that took her focus away from Dom. She should have not been allowed to be spending that much time with him, and definitely not been totally okay to be taking dabs and smoking weed at 15. Y'all know I don't have a problem with, what the devil's lettuce, the good Lord's green herb, whatever we want to call it. But dabs are a whole different thing. I'm not against them, but they mess me up, and I have a really high tolerance. I just can't imagine a 15-year-old taking dabs and that not severely affecting their brain development. Z Raven says, proud nerd here. Woo! Nerds unite. Shorty Pie is laughing at me. Rainbow says, did you see she has put her final appeal to Ohio State in? I didn't realize it was the final one. I knew another one had recently got denied. I'll have to check that out. One of y'all, crap, I can't think of her name right off. I don't think she's in chat right now. Sent me some copies of the court transcripts that I want to read. I just really want to get through these texts first, and they're going to take a while. I'm going to have to start doing multiple lives in one day if we're going to get through them. There's my baby coming in, gifted memberships. Thank you. Thank you. Pippadot says appeal already. Yeah, I don't know. It seems really fast after that last one, but I think aren't appeal laws in different in different states? They might be able to do it faster in Ohio than other places, or maybe they can all appeal immediately, and I'm just unaware of that. Sometimes there are things I don't know, y'all. That's one thing I try to never do is come up here and act to y'all like I know everything, because I would just make a fool of myself immediately. It would be immediately obvious that I don't. Oh man, Ann Staples says, anyone else accidentally saying bet now? I've caught myself a few times. Pippadot says, why is it she acts like she's going home anytime soon? She, I think, is totally convinced that she's going to Gypsy Rose it. You know, she's going to be relatively famous from prison, build her an army through social media on the outside, and get out and have a Lifetime show. And sadly, if she does, you know, if this murder conviction holds and everyone researching it comes to the conclusion that she did intentionally do it, it's less likely that she'll be able to get, the kind of public support that she needs. But, a lot of people are undecided. I'm still like currently right now, I absolutely am getting the feeling that this was intentional, but we haven't went through everything yet. Might be something that changes our mind. But there is always a chance because, the judge gave her the option of parole. What was it, after 15 years? There is a chance, she could get out and Gypsy Rose it. If she gets out, I'm sure Lifetime will be on it. They have no scruples about who they platform. But yeah, if she gets out, whether the conviction holds or not, if she just gets out on parole eventually, I'm sure that she will Gypsy Rose it. Shorty says the best bab, right? Oh man. Rainbow says, I said bet to teenagers a few days ago, and now he's saying, there you go. Shorty Pie says, thanks, Gen X, you are the best bab. Everybody's thinking 1970 for being a good bab, giving all them memberships. Hey, Janice, good to see you in here. Yeah, right. Currently, Z Raven Girl, that's where my thoughts are too. She is dangerous. And we've saw her already. We've only read 3.5 months of their text messages, and we've saw her straight up threaten Dom's friends. She would threaten Carl. She said she was going to get people to jump him and stuff like that because she was mad that Carl was with Dom when she wanted to be with him. Like crazy, crazy. This appeal is for if her counsel. Okay, yeah. If her counsel is deemed to have done her dirty, she'll be eligible to retrial. Oh man, if she gets a retrial, that'll be a mess. Although if she gets a jury trial, I don't think a jury. Well, who knows? I mean, a jury could feel sorry for her that she was 17, whereas, you know, I heard a detective say, whose channel I really like, a judge will have been familiar with and have seen domestic homicide. And that's what she called it. And yeah. Ruth Carroll says reasonable doubt. Yeah, they might get her a new trial on that because her defense did make weird choices. Pippadot says we don't need any more gypsy cults. Right? That's the dang truth. Jana says, I don't think she will ever get out for real. Z Raven Girl says, good luck finding an unbiased jury. That's what I was thinking. I kind of went off on a little brain trail while I was talking about her appeals. And if she got a retrial, like where on earth would they do it? Like everyone's seen the documentary. It's so crazy. I really feel like companies like Netflix and stuff like that shouldn't be allowed to make documentaries while a trial is ongoing or while there's still appeals, but I'm sure that gets into freedom of speech, so, who knows? Rainbow says, "All bets are off if she gets this appeal, who knows, right?" DSD says, "I'm in Australia listening to you while I fall asleep. It's almost 12 a.m. I always miss your lives." Well, I'm glad you made it in on this one. Awesome. Good to see you. Ruth Carroll says she's sick and dangerous, but that doesn't make her guilty. See, that's true. Like at the moment, I totally feel like she is guilty, but I'm keeping aware in my mind that she can be a crazy, despicable person. And we might still find something that makes us think later on that being crazy and bad, she still didn't have the intention. I don't know. We'll see. I don't expect to, honestly, but I try to keep my mind open to that. No, my husband says if 1980 starts calling me Bab, I won't know what to do. Oh, right. Yeah. Netflix is not the only perpetrator there, as the Raven Girl pointed out. Aaron Lee Carr, HBO. Let's not forget Melissa Moore. And you know what? I'm a big fan of 50 Cent, but what the hell was up with that documentary on the Long Island serial killer, Rex Heerman's wife? I didn't like that at all, and it was really weird. I thought it was weird first off when I tried to watch it, and I'm like, why the hell would a therapist be living in the murder house with the family and encouraging Asa or whatever her name is, Asa, to sleep in the murder room? Like none of that sounds professional or right to me at all. Well, it turns out I was correct. It turns out she was a fraud. So now that's making me like, side eye 50 Cents documentaries a little bit, even though I'm a fan at the moment, I'm still a fan, but really makes you wonder what is going on there. That's funny, rainbow ribbons. Pippa says, "Is Mackenzie a narcissist?" I don't have the education to say, but just colloquially, like it feels that way reading her stuff. But diagnostic criteria and all that, I couldn't say. Janice says, "Exactly, 100. It obsessed me that these people think they can be famous. Our world has gone crazy. It is weird how famous murderers are." Social medias, it's always kind of been a thing. There have always been people who are fascinated with killers, going back to, Manson and all that. But social media really, really exacerbated it because it's easier for people to get fame now. It's easier to get your message out there. You don't have to find a reporter or TV show writer or something willing to do your story for you. You can do it yourself. And that's the thing I appreciate. I think it's overall a good thing, but like everything in the world, there's pros and cons to it. And one of the big cons to social media is cons, literal cons, con artists and murderers getting all kinds of famous on it. Thank you so much, DSD. I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. Okay, let me switch back to the messages. Okay. Mackenzie, we stopped where Mackenzie said, "Get off D&D, please." I had to play our little D&D and explain all of our misunderstanding. Dom says, "Leave me alone till 8:30, actually." Mackenzie says, 8. Dom says, "No." Wait a second, what time is it? Looks like it's 7:30. He's asking for an hour. Dom says, "No." Mackenzie says, "Okay, if I leave you alone till 8:30, then can we for real hang? Because I've been ready for way too long. I'll leave you alone till 8:30 and you get off D&D, and then at 8:30 we can hang out. Okay, will you let me come over now?" Dom, she sends out at 8:30. He says, "I don't know, I'm chilling with Angelo and I'm really sore." See, Dom, I know he's 18. He's a teenager too. He's in a bad spot. He put himself in a bad spot. Mackenzie has dirt on him. He's tried to break up with her. He knows if he breaks up with her, he's going to jail. He's catching charges. But when he said, "Leave me alone till 8:30," actually, that gave her some kind of hope after he was standing on, no more plans, no more times earlier. And he knew it would, for him to just turn around and be like, no, leave me alone at 8:30. But, at the end of the day, the fact that he wasn't handling this relationship correctly, like what can we even say? We're not investigating that because he paid such an ultimate price. The only thing we're investigating is, was Mackenzie definitely intentionally responsible for this crash? You know what I mean? It makes me sad when I see him trying to get away and then he can't, and then just kind of giving in, and their toxicity just expounds. Yeah, it's really sick. Joking Rogue. Janice Harper says, "Did the Dom and Davian get back?" I assume you mean Dom and Davian's law. No, I believe that they're still working on that. I really hope that gets passed, but just don't know. RLF, hey RLF, good to see you. She says, "Oh, OMG, every day it's the same. He should have called her parents and told them she could no longer come over. He should have said our relationship isn't healthy." Yeah, I think he knew that her parents would just continue encouraging it, you know, because, and then there's also the fact that I'm pretty positive her dad was buying from Dom, buying weed from him. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things Dom should have done, but then I think about it in the light of the fact that he was looking at going to jail to get Kinsey out of his life. I feel horrible for the guy. Ruth Carroll says people look up murderers and send them money. Right? Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, like we read Gypsy Rose's prison emails. The way people were emailing her was wild. And even though most of us feel like we know better from all of our investigation, it's at least somewhat understandable that the majority of people simply saw, the act and stuff like that and thought that Gypsy was something different than what it appears she is. I'll just say that. But they thought she was an innocent child that still had the mind of a child and all this stuff. So it's even slightly more understandable there, but people literally hear about deranged serial killers who confess and they still write them and send them money wanting to marry them and crap. Like it's weird, weird. RLF says, I think the police would have looked at the situation. It's not like a 26-year-old, 15-year-old, plus her parents said, okay. I think he could have been okay with a difference in age. That is a possibility. I've heard of that. And the fact that he was under 18 when the relationship started. Ruth says she couldn't have known if she was going to live or die. That's where a lot of people are hung up on the crash, is that she had to have been having self-unaliving thoughts. And I think that's very possible. It doesn't take away the intention just because she survived. But at first, I didn't think she was, because she's just so, you know, narcissistic sounding in her messages, so much self worship there. But then I heard the 911 call where her parents called and said that she was threatening self-unaliving. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, Kung Fu, definitely. JK says, and Gypsy wants to say her and Nick's relationship is toxic. This is toxic. Yeah. Ruth Carroll says her parents are wacky too. They are crazy. Janice Harper says, I hope so. I saw people complaining that Dom's sister was taking things too far. If someone murdered my loved one, I would do the same thing to get justice. Yeah, I think Dom's sister is, her heart's in the right place, in my opinion, everything. Sometimes she says things that aren't quite factual about her brother. And I think that mostly comes from the fact that she has refused to read the text message file. She feels that would be an invasion of her brother's privacy, which is understandable. That was her brother. But because of that, there are things that she doesn't really know. And so it makes her come across kind of badly when she says things that other people who are reading the text files and investigating know aren't quite accurate. You know what I mean? That doesn't, like I said, that doesn't take away from the fact that her heart is, I'm sure, in the right place. And I really hope that the Dom and Davion's law get passed. Okay, we're almost to the end of the 17th. Okay, Dom says, I'm chilling with Angelo and I'm really sore. Mackenzie says, why? Do you need a massage? And just let me come now. I waited without texting you or calling you one time. Dom says, no, because I'm chilling with Angelo now. Thanks, though. Mackenzie says, damn, so I waited all that time for nothing. I should have known. I thought you were going to let me come. Dom says, maybe I can let you come in a little. Like, oh, why would he say that? You know, is he just playing with her? Why would he say that? Because she wasn't even freaking out that bad in those last text messages, just for nothing. I should have known. I thought you were going to let me come. He says, maybe I can let you come in a little. Like, don't do that, Dom. Don't give her hope. Mackenzie says, that would be nice. It's already getting late, though. Do you think it will be 9:30 or around then? Dom. And Dom says, I'm playing 2K. And he says, Mackenzie says, can I come hang now? Please, I'm so bored. It's irking me. And Dom says, I don't know. And then, like almost an hour later, he says, good night, babe. And she says, night. And he says, I'm super tired somehow. She says, I'm not tired. Dom, and that's the end of their messages for that night. It's 45 minutes before midnight. I can't tell if he let her come over or not, but it seems like not, and she just freaked out. Or she just let it go and didn't freak out, is what I meant to say. Exactly. Yeah. I don't understand why he gives her hope when he's clearly trying to get rid of her. Like, it's not going to make her stop giving her hope. Irking me. Yep. Ruth Carroll says the sister getting caught telling lies won't help her pass this law. I know. That's why, even though I understand that it's her brother and she doesn't want to invade his privacy, but if she's going to advocate for a law in his name on this case, I feel like she really needs to know everything that everyone is seeing so that she doesn't make those mistakes, you know? Kung Fu says it's like that line from a song, you give me just enough to hold on to nothing. Yeah, and I don't know why he does it other than what I keep saying. I get that he does feel under threat of jail if he just actually sticks to breaking up with her, but I don't know why he gives her hope like he does whenever it's obvious that that just sets her off more. Anyway, then we go to the 18th. So at 10:14 the next morning, Dom is actually the first to text. He says, I need to figure out why my hip hurts so bad. Well, my hips and butt. Mackenzie says, why? LOL. Can I come over in like 15? My mom is being annoying as shit and I'm about to flip out. Or, okay, or just don't answer me. Like, why can no one ever be there for me? Like, what? Answer. OMG. Dom says, I'm reading. Mackenzie says, that's all you had to say? You didn't have to ignore my calls and texts. Can I please come over in like 10? Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, so you can be there for all your friends, but you can't be there for me. Like, why can't you never be there for me? You're always the first one to help your homies when they need someone to be there. But for me, no, you could never. Dom says, I'm really sore. Mackenzie says in all caps, that doesn't have to do with anything. Dom says, stop tripping on me. And Mackenzie says in all caps again, then be there for me. If any one of your friends say they need support, you help them right away. Tell me why you can't do that for me when I'm your number one supporter. You for real make me feel like I'm nothing when you do this to me. Dom says, cause you do this. Mackenzie says, do what? Ask you for help and you say no? Then I get upset because I see you helping your homies all the time. Don says, honestly, I'm really getting sick of this. I'm cool. You can hit me up later. Mackenzie says, like, I'm already having a bad morning. I don't need to do this. No, I'm coming over. Dom says, no, get the fuck out. You big tripping. Dom says, nope. Or Mackenzie says, nope, you are as usual. Dom says, okay, I'm leaving my house then right now. Mackenzie says, when are you going to learn how to treat me? Dom says, when are you going to learn not to make it a game? Mackenzie says, I never make it a game. I ask you for help. You always say no. This makes me upset AF because my own babe can't help me. Like, I can't keep going through shit alone. It's not good. Like, I thought you would help me this time, but I guess I'm wrong. Like, you can't even help me on the phone. You can't even say sorry to me without telling you to apologize. I do so many little things for you and you still can appreciate me. I'm so fed up with you treating me like shit. You make everything 400 times more difficult than it should be. You could have just said, I'm reading, babe. You can come over soon. Questions? You really going to leave me on red? Dom says, mm hmm. Mackenzie says, you're a D. When are you going to learn? Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, is that your way of saying you're never going to learn? Name one time you've been there for me. You probably can't. Dom says, yeah, it's because I don't care, won't care, and haven't cared. Mackenzie says, wow, I can't believe you just said that. Wow. Dom says, LOL. Mackenzie says, wow, it's not funny. Dom says, I mean, you take everything as a joke anyway. Mackenzie says, that's the meanest thing anyone has ever said to me. I'm for real about to have a panic attack. Wow. Dom says, okay, stop counting score and I'll stop being mean. Mackenzie says, what you said was way too far. That's so fucked up. I can't believe you said that. Dom says, okay, then don't talk to me. Mackenzie says, telling someone you never cared is the most effed up thing anyone can ever say. That for real broke my heart. Dom says, haven't cared. You're being dumb. Mackenzie says, I don't care. I won't care. Yeah, I know. It's because I don't care, won't care, haven't cared. I will never forget that. I can't believe you could even say that to me. Dom says, I'm done talking to you. Mackenzie says, I just told you I'm having a bad morning, and you tell me that like I just effing melt away. That just killed R. She's messing up texting. It gets hard to read. Dom says, yeah, I would explain myself, but it's so hard to explain anything to you, so I don't care. Mackenzie says, no, you're just a D. It's not really hard to understand. Don't try to save yourself. You said what you said. I will never forget that. You've been nothing but mean to me for the last couple of days, and I never deserve to be treated this way. No, Dom says, no, I'm not trying to explain that I said that totally to be mean because you were pissing me the F off. If you don't deserve go get treated better elsewhere because to me it seemed like nothing is good enough for you. There you go, Dom. He should have stuck to his guns with this stuff. Mackenzie says, so you were trying to hurt me? That was the point of saying that? Tell nice because it worked. Dom says, hurt is a strong word. Being a D. Mackenzie says, I'm not going to be a D because it hurts people. And Dom, I think he sent an emoji or something because it come through as unreadable letters. Mackenzie says, just like how when you said that to hurt me to the point where I would cry for 30 days, I could cry right now. Dom sent another emoji. Mackenzie says, sad, right? When the person you care about to death says they don't care, won't care, haven't cared, that shit feels like a stab wound. Dom says, yeah, and I was being serious too. Oh shit. You go, Dom. Mackenzie says, now that I know you're just trying to hurt me, I don't care. Like, I wonder if you treated me, Hannah, like this. Sounds like it's just me. Dom says, yeah, it's because you special. Mackenzie says, can I come back now? It's cold out here. Dom, okay, I'm in your room. Why you do this shit? Like, I don't like it. So now you can go in there and be all nice and happy, but no, not with me. She must have showed up to his house, I guess, because those come in over a period of 9 minutes. Huh. Dom says, I didn't even go in there, but okay. Mackenzie says, then where are you? Dom says, in the kitchen. Mackenzie says, just hang with me. Like, I want to hang and I don't want to just sit in here and have you be mean to me. Dom says, no, I didn't want to hang with you and you just came here. Yep, she just showed up. Mackenzie says, when you told me you would stop because you were being mean to me, I needed you to be there for me. Dom says, I'm mad, so I'm just going to be mean to you. He's being straight up truthful with her here. Okay, guys, I got to know, how did y'all get to calling Ruth Carol Brucey? It confuses me. I don't mind at all, but yeah, I get confused. I was like, am I missing someone in the comments I'm not acknowledging named Bruce? Oh man. Janice Harper says, oh my, right? Yeah, he's being straight up honest here with her, and she just acts like he's not saying the words he's saying. Pippadot says, I'm so twisted about this case. There's no way she knew whether she'd live or die. I think she's too vain to put herself in real harm's way. Yeah, that I honestly go back and forth on that too, because I feel that way, that she's too vain to put herself in harm's way, but also she threatened it to the point where her parents had to call 911, and, I unless it was an accident or caused by someone else, she did drive straight into that building. So, yeah, I get you, Pippa, I have conflicts too, but that's part of the reason why I literally wanna read all their text messages even though it's a Herculean task because it goes on forever. Most creators are, understandably just finding the craziest ones and summarizing them, but I'm obsessive about information, y'all. I wanna read them all. Shorty Pie says, "Sitting here listening while at work, geez, poor Dom." Right? Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Oh, I gotcha. Joy says autocorrector voice to text started is. The autocorrector voice to text called Ruth Carroll Brucey. That's funny. Pippadot says that's true. She threatened self-harm in the past. She threatens it to Dom in her messages too. Now, it's such a weird thing because I have unfortunately, sadly, experienced a lot of family members, and a few friends self-unaliving, and the majority of them talk about it calmly ahead of time to me. My I have a cousin who is like a brother to me. I was so close to, and we lost him to that in 2019. And he told me for years, we text and talk on the phone. He'd been put in psychiatric care for, threatening self-harm before. And he told me straight up that, he would tell the psychiatrist or the people at the facility whatever they needed to hear to let him out because he knew what he was going to do and then eventually did it. So I've not experienced a person doing that and talking about it in the way that Mackenzie does, but I know other people who have, outside of my personal experience, a lot of people do. I've heard of a lot of people who do, very dramatically and, in a more Mackenzie like way threaten and then eventually go through with it. Everyone is different, sadly, and some people never ever speak of it before they do. But so I try not to judge too hard on whether I think someone actually will or not based on the way they're acting because everyone is just so different and it's hard to know if someone means it or not. So anyway, I'm going to get off that. That was a little heavy and deep. Thank you, Stacia. Enjoy. Um, Ruth Carroll says, autocorrect, I am Brucey. It took me so long to figure that out. I was like, I don't want to be ignoring someone in the chat. Thank you all for explaining that to me. Okay, let me jump back to the messages. Okay. Yeah, Dom said, I'm mad, so I'm just gonna be mean to you. Mackenzie says, "That's so effed up. You mad? See, I told you that you just steal the anger from me and don't let me be upset, but you can be mad for days." What the hell is she talking about? Dom says, "You can't steal anger. You're crazy." Yeah. What does she mean? She says, like, you couldn't let me be mad at you, then you just got mad. So I have to not be mad and make you not mad. Did you really just call me crazy? Dom says, yeah. Yeah, that sounds insane. You steal the anger from me? What on earth? I just, okay. I don't know what on earth that means. And she says, did you really just call me crazy? And Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, you are so effed up, a complete D. Like, what happened to you? Dom says, bruh, I don't give a fuck. Mackenzie says, I know, you already told me you don't care, won't care, never will. I thought you were being mature about this. I left you alone for a little while and then we were supposed to talk, but you just keep being mean when we were supposed to talk. Can you be the bigger person this time? Dom says, can you? What the shit? Mackenzie says, like, you tickled the anger out of me this morning, and it's not fair that I just get to be mad for 1 minute and then you get to be mad for like 4 days. She's mad because he gets to be mad. Yeah, I agree. Ruth says neither one of them is genuine. I don't think either one of their anger is even genuine because Mackenzie's arguing about, like, I have to stop being mad if you get mad. Like, yeah, because she is trying to keep the relationship together and Dom is not. Like, Dom wants out. He just wants out without her turning him in and putting him in jail. And like RLF said, that might not have been as concrete a conclusion as he thought, but in his mind, it seems like it was. Pippadot says listening to their wording is just crazy. It is. Like, what on earth? Oh, Dom says, inward, I don't want to be mad. Mackenzie says, then don't be mad. Let me tickle the mad out of you like you did to me. The fuck? Dom says, no, I don't want to see you. Mackenzie says, WTF? So you gonna make me come find you? What on earth? Like, she's a stalker. He's very clearly setting a boundary. I don't want to see you. I don't want you here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't care about you. Haven't cared about you. Am not going to care about you. And her reaction to that is, I guess you're going to make me come hunt you down. Like, she's a 15-year-old crazy stalker here. Like, this is nuts. Dom says, no, I don't want to see you. Mackenzie says, you're being immature. Come talk. Dom says, no, leave my house before I hate you more. Mackenzie, in all caps, says, wow, you are so mean for no reason. How do you expect me to just leave when you're being so mean? Like it isn't going to fix it, but I don't want to beef, but you want to make it so hard. Dom says, you not fixing it. Mackenzie says, then you just say shit like that. Like what? Come talk and be mature. I will probably just leave after we talk. Dom says, nah, I don't want to talk. Mackenzie says, Dom, then I don't want to leave. Why do you make everything worse? I'm not even being a bitch. Dom says, if you don't leave, we won't talk. You being a bitch. Mackenzie says, you said if I stop keep score, you will stop being mean, which clearly wasn't true because I haven't said anything that has to do with keeping score and you're still being mean. Oh my God. He just said stop keeping score like a few minutes before and she thinks she's already stopped. Dom says, inward, you so dumb. Mackenzie says, why can't you be nice to me? Like, shouldn't have to ask myself what's wrong with me. Dom says, just go home. Mackenzie says, oh, so I'm dumb now too. Keep calling me names. Dom says, there is something wrong with you. Go home. Mackenzie says, you think you're getting your point across? WTF, ETF, WTF, 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 WTF. Dom says, shut up. Go home. I don't care. Mackenzie says, you're so fake. Like I trusted you, and then you tell me something's wrong with me. How can you just say that? Where are you? Dom says, I said that because you said that. Mackenzie says, stop making excuses. Like I tell you I'm having a bad day and you just make it worse. I told you I've been sad lately and you can care less. Like I need love and support, Dom, not constant hate. Dom says, today you're going to get hate. Mackenzie says, I came here because I needed someone and then you just make everything so much worse. Like I need help. I can't go through everything alone. Dom says, you came here to harass me. Mackenzie says, I came here to talk and be mature. I came to fix the situation. Dom says, fix by leaving. Fix by stop being a bee. Mackenzie says, I'm not being a bee at all. I will leave if you talk to me. Dom says, no, inward, leave. I'm done texting you. About to go on D&D.
Dungeons and Dragons. I live in a world of cold steel.
This is one of those bragging rules stock. The person that one day after day after day. Ruth Carroll says that sentence would confuse Jack Fox, right? Like just over and over and over. Crazy. Mackenzie says, I'm going to come find you. Dom says, leave. Mackenzie says, then Dom says, and maybe we can talk tomorrow. Oh, he's starting to placate her now, trying to get her to go. Mackenzie says, no, because maybe it gets my hopes up and then you F me over. Dom says, okay, then leave and we can't talk tomorrow. Mackenzie says, no, WTF, where are you? Dom says, sorry, I forgot I can't say maybe no more. Leave. Mackenzie says, you said it was cool. If I leave alone, we can talk in a little. Like, why do you never keep your word with me? You told me you would treat me better and you didn't do that. And then you said you would stop being mean and you didn't. Like, there's so many more things. Dom says, you made me say that, but okay, leave. Going on D&D now. Mackenzie says, I never made you say shit. I'm coming to find you then. Dom says, yeah, okay, now you're going crazy. Mackenzie says, you're just trying to hurt me. You love to see me upset. For what? Like, I just wanted you to be there for me today. Dom says, you thinking things are happening, not happening. You're delusional. Mackenzie says, promise you won't leave. Dom? Dom says, I'm going to go to Trevor's. Mackenzie says, why? Dom says, because he hit me up. Mackenzie says, can you come back here after a little bit? Dom says, can you just go home? Mackenzie says, Dom, please let me say. You said if I go in, we can talk. I went in and waited. Dom says, no, I said I wasn't talking. I said if you go in, I'll leave. Mackenzie says, can we please talk before you go then? Dom says, about what? Mackenzie says, everything. Dom says, like? Dom says, what happened today and what we can both do to make it not happen again. Dom says, inward, nah, that shit don't work. Just go home. Mackenzie says, why? Yes, it does. How does she think it does when they have the same fight every day? Dom says, no, it doesn't. Mackenzie says, it only doesn't work if people don't try to fix what they did. Can you drive me home? Dom says, you're just making me mad again. No. Mackenzie says, okay, whatever, LMAO, I didn't do anything wrong. Stop blaming me when I'm just trying to fix this. Mackenzie says, what? Or Dom says, well, you're making it worse. Mackenzie says, I guess I'll just get a ride when you're in the car about to leave. Like, you really can't drive me home? Dom says, mm-hmm. Mackenzie says, that's so petty, Dom. Like, you're in the car about to leave right now. Don't be petty, Dom. LOL. Dom says, I still have to go inside. Mackenzie says, then come inside. Dom says, no, I'm waiting till you dip. Mackenzie says, I want a hug before I leave too, though. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, all right, so you're going to be like that? That's cool. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, maybe we can talk later. I took a dab at your house and I ate a cake pop, and now I'm so fired, but it's like a really good high. So you're just going to ignore me all day? Don't ignore me. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, do you want to talk and chill later? They're still on the same day. This is like 3 hours before midnight. Mackenzie says, or would you want to sleep over? I cleaned my whole room. It would be really fun. Dom says, probably not. I'm probably gonna go chill with Trevor. Mackenzie says, I thought you were with him already. Mackenzie says, or Dom says, no, I waited for Blair. Mackenzie says, oh, LMAO. Well, if you don't, can we chill? Want to come hang here and maybe we can bring the dab rig, and we can just take dabs and chill. Dom says, I'm almost definitely going though. Mackenzie says, LOL, well, still want to sleep here after you chill with Trevor? Dom says, I mean, it's going to be late, kind of. I don't know. Mackenzie says, I'll stay up, LOL. Dom says, okay, I'll let you know. Mackenzie says, you want to? And then no reply, and it goes into the next day. Goes into the next day just after midnight. Let me check comments real quick. Perfectly Imperfect 1976 says, hey, 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 Waking and Bacon here. Awesome. Nice. Glad to have you in here. Thank you for stopping in. Pippadot says, good morning, Perfectly. Hey, Highland Girl. Good to see you in. Glad you made it. Kung Fu says, it's like the movies, Groundhog Day and Black Widow had a baby. Oh my God, right? Right. Okay, let me go refill my coffee cup real quick, y'all, and then we start on the next day. It goes to the 19th after that. And it's the 19th, like just after midnight. But yeah, I will be right back, friends. Go ahead. Okay, I am back. Gotta find my setting in here. There we go. Oh, this coffee's good. I needed that. And we are on the 19th. And just after midnight, Mackenzie says, all right, I'm gonna just sleep. Hang tomorrow. And Dom says, yeah, I just got home. I think I'm asleep here because I'm still sore. But that, yeah, at the beginning of that sentence is going to screw him over. Mackenzie's going to take that as a yes. We are hanging tomorrow. Mackenzie says, that's cool. Maybe we can FaceTime for a little. Put a heating pad on your legs will probably help. Dom says, I'm just going to do nothing that could inflame more. Mackenzie says, do you want to FaceTime? Oh, I didn't know that. I'm probably going to crash soon. Let's just chill tomorrow. Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, all right. And do you not want to FaceTime? Dom says, I don't. Mackenzie says, you going to be done soon? Dom says, I'm not sure. Mackenzie says, are you still doing drops? Want to just bring me with you? I just realized tomorrow is, you sure we can't for hang on, let me try rereading this again. I just realized what tomorrow is. You sure we can't hang for a little bit tomorrow before you chill with your homies? Dom says, maybe. Oh no, Dom, don't say maybe. Sorry, I forgot to mute for that sneeze. Mackenzie says, okay, good. And what do you think about bringing me with... Excuse me for a minute, y'all. Okay, sorry about that, friends. Thank you, Highland Girl. Looking at the comments here. Perfectly Imperfect says, found it. She's living it up like she's not locked up for murder. There it is. Perfectly Imperfect says, I watched a video yesterday by another creator talking about Sharilla's jail write-ups. Oh yeah, I read those on a live here a few days ago. It's pretty crazy. Like altering clothes constantly, doesn't give a shit about their rules in the prison. Like I can't imagine how she's going to get paroled unless she makes a real serious change in her attitude. You know, the attitude she doesn't have. Oh, congrats on the upgrades, Joking Rogue. Kung Fu says, we are leading up to 4/20/20. You know that? Oh, that's right. I was like, what is she talking about? I was wondering if maybe the next day was his birthday or something, but you're so right, Kung Fu Panda. The next day was 4/20, the Stoner holiday. Speaking of which, let me indulge a bit before I start reading that day. Just a moment, friends. Yeah, the Stoner holiday. Okay, so still on the 19th, after Mackenzie asked if she could, said, I just realized what tomorrow is. Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, okay, good. And what you think about bringing me with you? I'm really bored, so that would be nice if you just scooped, or I can just go to your house. Don says, I might be able to scoop. Mackenzie says, bet right now. Dom, LOL. Dom says, no, after I do stuff. Mackenzie says, I thought you meant now. Can I just go to your house then and chill there? I'm trying to chill before it gets dark and cold. And I was asking you to scoop me like now because I'm really bored. Don says, I'll swoop you. Mackenzie says, okay, yay, I'm ready. Dom says, blunt is burning, so he ready, I'm by Fultz. Mackenzie says, LOL, okay, bet. Mackenzie says, I am waiting downstairs. And Dom says, I am here. So So we finally did pick her up that day. Sorry, y'all, I sneezed again. You're welcome. Getting upgrades is a fun thing. Ruth says, I suppose no one ever told her that rejection is protection. She wouldn't have believed him if they had. She'd have been like, that dumb as fuck. We know it's true, but Mackenzie, I don't think she accepts a lot of truth. Dom told her a lot of truth here on the 19th that, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to be with her. He's never going to. And she did not care. Oh, that's funny. Kung Fu says, I hope he decides to spend the day with Carl. Right? Okay, so 4:20, the holiday starts. 7:41, Mackenzie texts, hit me up when you up. 9:44, Dom says, I'm up. Mackenzie says, my dogs wake me up by barking way too much. Dom says, I straight fell asleep on that movie. Mackenzie says, I know, I heard you snoring before I fell asleep. Lamayo. After I do dish doing some shit, can I come over? Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, okay, bet. Want me to bring over caramel corn? Can I come now? Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, yay, okay, on my way. And that was at 10:25. And then looks like 10 and a half hours later at 21:07, she texts again and she says, I wish you just stayed. Hi, we here. How? I don't even want to be in your room. I'm probably just going to lay here now. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, why do you just say okay? Say more than okay. Dom says, I don't know what else to say. Mackenzie says, there's a lot of things you can say other than just dry okay. Like, can I find out when that boring shit show is over? Or she sent a you after that. She meant to say, like, can you find out when that boring shit show is over? Mackenzie says, and are you guys just having a convo now? Dom said, it's like 20 minutes. It was 28 when I said 20. It sounds like Dom was talking to some friends and she got pissy and went in his room and started having a fit over text. Am I reading that right, y'all? That's all I can figure there. Mackenzie says, are you sure? Want to take a dab after? Since you didn't give me one, LOL. Dom says, yeah, you can do it, babe. And that's the end of their texts on the 20th. Oh, actually, Dom's yeah was the end of their text on the 20th. On the 21st, they only had one text, and it was just Dom saying, you can do it, babe. And then their next text are on the 22nd. Looks like there's not very many of them, so let's read. On the 22nd at 1:09 a.m., Mackenzie texted, good night, babe. I feel a lot better now. Dom said, nice. Mackenzie says, it took me so long to fall asleep, though. I for real couldn't move. Dom says, get off your phone. Read some books. Mackenzie says, LOL, I just got out of the shower, dummy, trying to chill. Dom says, I don't know what I'm going to do today for real. Mackenzie says, well, want to hang now? And if you want to chill with your homies, I can dip. What you think? Dom says, I'm about to do some stuff and I'm going to chill with the Ashish probably. Mackenzie says, that's cool. Can I come with you on sales? Then after you can drop me off. If not, it's cool. I really don't care. Dom says, yeah, come over. Mackenzie says, bet, on my way. Try to be done soon. Oh, the on my way was at 13:54, so almost 2:00 in the afternoon. And the try to be done soon, please, was at 18:49, so almost 7 p.m. And Dom says, what you gotta go, you gotta hoe. Mackenzie says, what you mean? You said we supposed to go get the food now. I don't want the food to be cold. Dom says, what? And that's all on the 22nd. They must be spending a bit more time together because the days of text are shorter. There's not so many fights. So it seems like Dom's giving in and letting her come along on the drops, on the sales, and letting her hang out at his house. to stop the constant fighting. Like, otherwise, he has her in his text messages all the time going off. Ruth Carroll says on one of the jail calls, her mom was bringing her caramel corn. Weird. She must have a thing about caramel corn. Okay. So on the 23rd, their texts start at 1:14 a.m. Mackenzie says, "It's all big and shit. So cute, though." Dom says, "He just chillin'." I think they're talking about an animal outside. Mackenzie says, "How does it not see you? As soon as I walked outside, that MF was dead staring at me." Dom says, "It's being chill. It's seen me, but didn't really care. And then Angelo went out and he left." Mackenzie says, "OMG, why couldn't you just leave it for me? He probably knew I was scared AF." Dom says, "LMAO for real. You see the weather?" Mackenzie says, "Not yet. LOL, is it nice out?" Dom says, "Yeah." Mackenzie says, "Ooh, like shorts hot? Maybe we can go exploring. Trying not to chill sometime today." Dom says, "Maybe." Mackenzie says, "What you doing?" Dom says, "Just my normal shit, balling and stuff. Now I'm chilling because it's raining." Mackenzie says, "Oh, damn, it's not nice anymore. Sad face. Chill soonish. When are you going to be done, babe?" LMAO, what is going on? Dom says, "My B, I was playing Clash Royale." Mackenzie says, "LOL, it's cool. Are we chilling soon? Yes or no?" Dom says, "Yeah, we can chill in a little." Mackenzie says, "Okay, let me know. Babe, I want to show you what I painted. Let me come now." Dom says, "Okay, you can come." Mackenzie says, "Okay, bet. I have really bad cramps right now. Like shit, it's so bad." Oh, wait, we went to the next day again. The last text on the 23rd was, "Okay, bet." So she must have come over. And that was late at night on the 23rd. And then the next message is on the 24th at 1:12 a.m. So I don't know. She went home or what? Because she says, "Okay, bet. I have really bad cramps right now. Like shit, it's so bad. They making me so uncomfortable. I for real hate it." Dom says, "That's tough. If only perks weren't bad for you." Mackenzie says, "LMAU." And like, I can't even rest on my elbow because they hurt so bad. Life gay right now. I hate how they use gay as a slur all the time. That's weird where Dom says, "If only perks weren't bad for you." Like, is that another thing he sold? Does he have access to perks? That seems kind of weird. Let me know if y'all have ever heard of that before. Hey, Into the Weeds, good to see you. Dom says, "Lay on your side." Mackenzie says, "That's what I'm doing right now. Like, my face is all itchy too. Makes me want to shower right now. LOL, were you up late? What you doing today?" Dom says, "I just seen your dad." Mackenzie says, "LMAO, no way. How?" Mackenzie says, "He was on your street." Mackenzie says, "Oh, LOL, want to chill soon?" Dom says, "I don't know." Mackenzie says, "Are you doing sales right now? Just let me know after your sales." What up now? Dom. Dom says, "Yeah, I've been busy doing my shit. Had to shower. We can chill later." Mackenzie says, "Oh, okay, bet. Text me soon. I'm playing Animal Crossing with my sister." Dom says, "LMAO." Mackenzie says, "What you doing?" Dom says, "I'm still busy, actually." Mackenzie says, "Really? Damn. Want a boon sometime today?" Dom says, "Right now, I'm making a quick piece of pizza, but then I gotta do stuff. And yeah, probably." Mackenzie says, "LMAO, quick piece. Okay, bet. Just let me know, babe." Dom says, "Okay." Mackenzie says, "LMAO, look at Joey's story." Dom says, "LMAO." Mackenzie says, "Can we link soon? Babe, I need to show you something." Dom, text me back. Dom says, "I'm balling with Kyle." Mackenzie says, "Okay, that's cool. When you're done, come get me. I have a surprise for you." Dom says, "Okay." Mackenzie says, "Bet. Hit me up soon, BB." Dom says, "Okay." Mackenzie says, "Soon, please, LOL." Dom says, "I'm chilling with Kyle and Blair. I hit you up after." Mackenzie says, "Yeah, I know. You told me you were thin already, LMAO. I was asking if you can be done soon. You said we could boon today." Dom says, "I said probably after I do stuff." Mackenzie says, "You said yeah, probably, but it's cool. Can you just try to hang with me today?" Dom says, "Kyle leaving before 9. Mackenzie says, "Bruh, 9. That's late as fuck. Dom, I'm going to be tired. Can we hang before? Like, I thought later meant 7, 8, not 9. Dom says, "No." Mackenzie says, "Are you for real? Like, you really can't hang with me before 9? Like, that's late as fuck. You said later, Dom. That shit really annoys me. Like, I wait all day for you to tell me I have to wait till 9. You shouldn't have said later. You should have said late as fuck." Dom says, "I'm sorry. We chill every day." Mackenzie says, "It's just annoying, Dom. Like, I even told you I have a surprise for you. I was expecting to come over around 7 and hang. Can we meet in the middle and let me come over at 8:30?" Dom says, "No, babe. Ashish and Sean here are here too. I'm chilling with them." Mackenzie says, "So you bailing on me again? It's whatever, but it's seriously annoying and it sucks. So you don't want your surprise tonight that I worked really hard on." Dom says, "No, just when they leave, you can come. You can probably come a little later." Mackenzie says, "At 9? Look, I'm probably going to be sleepy soon. I can feel it." Dom says, "Nope, probably later." Mackenzie says, 9:30? 9:30 is pushing it. That's for real way too late. Like, this isn't cool, Dom. You said later, not past 9. I have appointment of anxiety right now. I hate this. Dom says, "No, you expecting too much. We will probably chill by then. If we don't throw a fit." Mackenzie says, "I won't throw a fit. The fuck? Expecting you to chill around 7 when you say later in the morning. It's not expecting too much. Really nice, not mean. Can I come soon? I'm ready to come whenever. Want to hang soon and Boone?" Oh, whoops. We went to the next day again. Her last message on the 24th was, "I'm ready to come with whenever." And then it goes to the 25th, and it looks like about 1:49 in the afternoon, almost 2. Mackenzie says, "Want to hang soon and Boone?" And Dom says, three about a half hour later, "I'm chilling with Chris right now. We can hang today though." Mackenzie says, "After you chill with Chris, let's go to heaven or hell." What the hell does that mean? Heaven or hell? Dom says, "Maybe I'm kind of busy." Mackenzie says, "Are you doing sales? And I could just come with and we can Boone." "Babe." Dom says, "I'm at Chris's house." Mackenzie says, "Oh, still? Well, when you leave, can you please scoop? Are you staying there really late?" Dom says, "Probably not." Mackenzie says, "I thought we were chilling today, though. I really don't want to be home all day again. I thought we could hang around now or 5 and Boone to some cool abandoned place." Dom says, "I'm sorry. I'll try to do something with you soon." Mackenzie says, "Dom, what does that even mean? So we can't hang? Come over past 9 is just annoying. Like, you can't just leave Chris's house in 30 minutes or an hour and come get me and hang with me? Questions. You left me on red?" Dom says, "Maybe, babe. I do it by accident. Chill." Mackenzie says, "You will maybe leave in 30 minutes? Like, I want to chill with you before it's all dark and shit. Please do it for me. Come scoop at 5:30." Dom says, "I'm still at Chris's house." Mackenzie says, "Can I just come to Chris' house?" Dom says, "No." Mackenzie says, "I don't know. You were with your homies all day yesterday." Dom says, "You can't always be doing this." Mackenzie says, "Doing what? Asking to hang? LMAO. Okay." Dom says, "No, I wasn't. I was busy all day yesterday." Mackenzie says, "Aight, so you staying there all day? So, when are you going to hang with me before 9? Shit sucks. I want day with you when I can come over at 9. I'm already low key tired. I wish you would just hang with me early like you used to." Don says, "I have to get shit done. You don't know what I did today. I could tell you later." Mackenzie says, can I just come to your house now or something? I just want to hang before it gets dark so bad. I feel like we haven't hung before 9 in days. Or can you just leave soon?" Dom says, "Yes, we have." Mackenzie said, "I swear we haven't. Can I just come to your house right now? Or are you going to leave in like 15, 30 minutes?" Questions. "Can you please hang with me now, Dom?" Dom says, "I could probably hang with you soon." Mackenzie says, "How soon? LOL. And bet, babe. Answer. You said soon and it's been like an hour, Dom." It had been 40 minutes. Dom says, "You can come chill." Mackenzie says, "I can come now?" Dom says, "Yeah, you just can't complain." Mackenzie says, "Come out. Can I just come into Angelo's, LOL, please?" And then we go to the next day. On the 26th at 2:09 a.m., she says, "Night, Bab." Let me check comments real quick. Well, it's actually a word for smoking a joint. If you check Urban Dictionary, that's what they mean when they say they want a boon. It's a joint word. Yeah. Um, yeah, Pippadot, it sounds like he had access to perks because when she said she was hurting so bad, He said, too bad you can't take perks, or too bad perks are bad for you, or something like that. But exactly. I feel like slang in the 90s did make sense, but we didn't have chat speak then either. So let's see. Hyla says, all right, I'm not down with the kids. Highland Girl Perks, he spelled it with a C, and it's short for Percocets, opioid pills, pain pills. Okay, the 27th, or I'm sorry, the 26th doesn't have hardly any messages either. Because like I said, at 2:09 a.m., Kenzie says, night, Bab. And then at 7:22 that morning, Dom says, night, babe. Mackenzie says, hang early today. Remember, hit me up when you up. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, want to chill at 1:30 or 2? Babe, LOL. Dom says, hello. Mackenzie says, want to hang in like 15? Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, I'm doing some shit on Animal Crossing right now. We can hang at like 2:30. That's a good time. Dom says, you can just come over. I'm really not doing anything. I have to leave in like 15 though, probably less. Mackenzie says, okay, I'm coming soon. And that's all of their texts on the 26th. Dom avoided a big fight by just letting her come on over. It was one of you, I know exactly who it was, but I can't think of her username. But one of you emailed me the Urban Dictionary for Boone because I was lost on it too. Completely lost. Okay, let's see how long the 27th goes. So on the 27th at 2:30 m, after Dom let her come over, because we saw at 14:07, she said, okay, I'm coming soon. At 2:30 a.m. on the 27th, Mackenzie texts Dom and says, sorry, babe, I'm low-key PMSing, and that's why I'm all emotional. I hope you sleep good. Dom said, that shit will not happen again, and now I have to go to the bathroom. I wonder what the hell she did, because, that's his thing. Every time he lets her come over when she's having a fit. She ends up having a fit after she gets there. I really wish they would tell us in these texts what happened. Mackenzie says, yeah, I don't want that shit to happen again either. I for real just got my period like 3 seconds ago, though. I never want that to happen again. Dom says, whatever. Mackenzie says, I'm sorry, babe. Just text me tomorrow. Dom says, whatever. I was tired at 10. Now I have to get up. Mackenzie says, I'm not tired either. Dom says, yeah, I'm going to need a couple days to get shit done now. Mackenzie says, you can probably get tired again if you hit a bong, then watch TV. Don't be mean. Dom says, smoking make you more awake when you're tired. Now I probably will. I didn't do jack shit. Today I didn't even get to sleep. He's tired and mad, so he's having trouble texting, I think. And Mackenzie says, oh, for me, I get sleepy. Dom says, let's just waste my valuable time more, my way more valuable time. Mackenzie says, Dom, just chill on me. We both said sorry. I can't help my mood swings when I'm PMSing. If I could, I would, Bab. What did she do, y'all? Dom says, you PMS every day. Mackenzie says, but please don't not hang with me for days. No, I don't. Dom says, yeah, I might have to when you're PMSing. Mackenzie says, the last week and today was my only bad day. You should take care of me when I'm on my period, not get mad. I don't know. Dom says, can't let tomorrow and the next day be bad. Mackenzie says, stop being mean, Dom. We both know they aren't. Dom says, I don't know. After today, I'm not taking chances. Mackenzie says, Dom, WTF, stop. Dom says, my mental health right now. Mackenzie says, and it's got like the less sign. Mackenzie says, that's for real, not cool. And Dom says, my mental health soon, with the greater than sign. And he emphasized I don't know, after today, I am not taking the chances. Mackenzie says, your health is important and so is mine. If I could get rid of my period, I think I would want to You think I would want a PMS? I said sorry, and you're rubbing this in my face. I'm trying not to get upset at you saying you're not going to hang with me for days, which isn't right to do to me, especially when I'm on my period and I need my babe. Dom says, I don't know. After all this, I need some time to myself. Mackenzie says, and you can have that. I don't really care. Just don't punish me for something I can't control. Dom says, okay, me time for the next 3 days. Mackenzie says, that's for real, such a D move. Not 3 days. You know I hate my house so much. Dom says, 3, maybe 4. Mackenzie says, you know, you the only person I could pretty much chill with. I just said, don't punish me for something I can't control. Don't be the guy that gets mad when someone PMS. You have to be understanding. You can't just sit there and punish me by not chilling with me for 4 days. That's basically forcing me to be alone for 4 days. I've been being so chill, and tonight you've been being so mean to me. You didn't even fully cuddle me. Can we just put this behind us and start a new day tomorrow? Dom says, your points are invalid. No. Yeah, I don't blame him here. Like, he was holding her off. She was begging and just showing up at his house and stalking him whenever he told her not to come over. And he finally gives in and lets her come over. The first night she gets all pissy and goes into his room and starts texting him pissy shit. And then the next day, apparently there's some kind of blow up where she knows it's bad and is trying to blame it on her PMS. Like, PMS, like, it can make us in a bad mood, have a lot of pain and all that stuff, but you have to control yourselves and to other people. Like, she's 15, she has growing to do. That's one of the reasons why shouldn't be with an 18-year-old. But it's wild to me when, people say they can't control their natural functions. Friends, if we could not control our natural functions as humans, none of us would be potty trained. You know what I mean, friends? Am I going too far here? But yeah, we have natural functions that we do learn to control because it's unacceptable to do those natural functions in public, and losing our shit because we're having a bad mood on people is maybe one of those natural functions that we have to learn to control, as we get older and mature. Kung Fu says, here comes the auctioneer. 2 days. Can I get 3? We got 3. Can we invite to day 4? Oh, man. Shorty Pie says, it's more missing brain cells with Gypsy. I don't think the microdeletion. I think that the microdeletion is affecting her as more time passes. Something that affects her for sure. Ruth Carroll says, water retention puts pressure on your brain. Yeah. Well, if we tell Kinsey that's going to be her new excuse for every single thing, even though it's true. Shorty Pie says, I bet Ken thinks Gypsy is always PMSing, right? Oh, I bet he does. Oh, so true, Pippa. Thank you, Joking Rogue. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see what other messages we got after that. Mackenzie says, you just gonna be like that, Dom? You are the only person. My mom isn't weird about chilling with me at the moment. Well, of course your mom isn't weird about chilling with you. She's your mom. This girl is so delusional. Dom says, it wouldn't matter if you were on your period or not. Mackenzie says, Dom, I'm extra emotional when I'm on my period. I can't help it. Like, why are you just being so mean? Dom says, nah, you the same. Mackenzie says, why are you being mean still? Like, stop and just be nice. I'm trying to work this out. And you're just trying to hurt with me by not chilling with me for days. That upsets me. We both apologize and we can be mature and work this out instead of just trying to get at the other person. Be there to support me when I'm on my flow and not make me feel alone. Dom says, no, it's because I always get it worse. You just go home to sleep and then at normal tomorrow. Mackenzie says, how do you get it worse, Dom? Why are you comparing? Am I asleep right now? I didn't do the whole time at your house. Stop trying to find a reason to be rude. Dom says, because I waste the most valuable thing in life ever. Mackenzie says, time, right? Dom, we are quarantined. We have all the time in the world, and it was 10 at night. Just stop being mean to me. I can't take it. Let's just both be mature and put this shit behind us. I told you I'm PMSing, and you should understand. Oh, it makes me really sad to see Dom talking over and over about how time is the most valuable thing in the world. He really did value his time. And thanks to Mackenzie's foot on the pedal, he doesn't have any time anymore. And she made him miserable. And it appears in the 2 years of time he had left from this point on. Crazy. Thank you, Pippadot. Dom says, next time you PMSing, go home. Mackenzie says, I will for sure. My period just keeps getting worse and worse every time. I'm sorry, BB. I don't want you to be mad. What is this word? Dom says, it's time for the perculatot. What does that mean? Let me Google that word. I just assume that he is, misspelling Percocet. But I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, she totally took his time, Shorty Pie. Before his death and then in the ultimate final, no more time for you, Dom. Ruth Carroll says, I've had times when I wanted to give a man a bottle of magnesium. Oh my gosh. Okay. If anyone knows what magnesium citrate is and what it's used for, you might want to Google that. Ruth, that's hilarious. Oh my. Pippadot says, Shorty Pie, I really think the microdeletion is responsible for the strange things she does and the immaturity and hypersexual activity as well. Possible. Oh, there was someone else I was reading about the other day, another murderer that had a microdeletion. I'll have to find that again. Because I was surprised to find that. Yeah, exactly, Kung Fu. She took 100% of his time. Okay, perculatot. I was just trying to correct it to percolator coffee pot. There's a perculatot on Instagram, and it's just about coffee percolators. Like, I don't know. Yes, Shorty Pie, it is. 100% of poopy med. Mackenzie says, LMAO, no, don't do that, please. Dom says, this is what girls be making N-words. Do you see? Mackenzie says, that's effed up. Is that on Snap? I just seen that story. It's crazy AF. I might sleep soon, but please don't punish me for PMSing today. I'm really stressing about that and I can't sleep. Dom says, good night, babe. Sorry. And then later that day, he says, hey, babe. So it seems like they suddenly just put whatever the heck happened suddenly behind them. So weird. Weird, weird, weird. Because Dom is actually after they go to sleep around 5 a.m. on the 27th, about 3:45, Dom is the first one to text her when he wakes up, still on the same day, and he says, hey, babe. Mackenzie says, hey, what's up? Dom says, not much, I'm just chilling with Blair. Mackenzie says, that sounds fun, I'm eating watermelon. Dom says, I was eating the pineapple this morning. Mackenzie said, that sounds slap, I just ate a lot of fruit. Why did you like Bella's pic with Nat? Dom says, you told me to like her pics. Mackenzie says, not all, only that one. And then Mackenzie's, there's nothing for a couple of hours. Then she says, do you want to chill sometime today? Dom says, yeah, maybe tonight we get lit at Nikki's. No one is here. Mackenzie says, that sounds fun. Why is no one there? Want to hang soon? I'm going to Target, then I'll be free. Question? Dom says, I'm at Travelers with Kyle. Mackenzie says, when you leave, try to hang. You were replying so slow. Cool. Dom says, sorry, I had to drive places. I'm tired. Mackenzie says, it's cool. I want to just chill tomorrow. Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, what you do today? Dom says, chill with Blair and Kyle and did other stuff I forgot. Mackenzie says, LOL, you forgot? I just relaxed because my cramps bad as fuck. Then she says, you up? Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, did you see the Pentagon releases video of real info on UFOs? Dom says, I didn't. For real, what was it? And that was the end of their text on the 27th. Ruth Carroll says, Shorty Pie, yes, and cramps you badly. Yeah, it does. I've had to take that before surgery before. Joy says, Matthew Kramer in Indiana. I think that was it. Hang on, let me Google. I think you're right. Yep. I believe that was him. I'll have to look back at it some more, but oh yeah, Pippadot for sure. Definitely. Oh, I'm avoiding Taco Bell and lettuce right now. I threw out we had like a few heads of organic romaine in the fridge and they were not even the same brand of the contaminated lettuce, but I was just like, you know what? I ain't taking no chances cuz at first they said it was just the bag salads. Then they said it might be all lettuce from that brand. And the first they said it wasn't related to any Taco Bells, and now it is related to Taco Bells. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just not doing lettuce right now. Shorty Pie says, chill and dabs is all she seems to want to do. Yeah, and sometimes the order gets reversed too. Sometimes the dabs and chill. I honestly think if she could have found another guy who would spend as much on her as Dom and could provide her with dabs and weed, that and she moved on to him, that Dom's life might have been saved. Oh, right? Like, it really is. And have y'all been following the David case? The Forvid? They showed stuff in court and give a few new details yesterday about Celeste, and God, that dude's sick. I'm gonna have to do another video on him soon. Kung Fu Panda says, I hope the Dom and Davion bill passes. They should call it D&D for sure, right? Oh, for real. Joy says Dom needs a damn headstone. Drives me nuts. Yeah, I know they like doing their memorial there, but like it's why wouldn't there be a headstone in the middle of it? That's just a little strange to me. But you know, different people have different cultural traditions and ways. There's a Native American tribal nation near me here, a smaller one, not one of the big ones. And they have a tradition on their grave sites of building like a house type thing over it. Not really a full house, but they've got like a little roof type deal and walls. And part of the tradition is over time, that house is supposed to kind of start to fall in and become part of the grave. Well, people who didn't understand that tradition were freaking out, like wanting to fix them up and everything, which screws up this whole Native American tradition. And, you know, the owners and families didn't want that happening. So, anyway, I'm just kind of going off on a ramble here to say, like, yeah, headstone seems like a big deal to me. I don't know what Dom's family might have going on culturally, but yeah, it just seems so weird. Hey, Kathleen Fleck, good to have you in here. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Shiny Gems. I appreciate that. Or Shiny Lamb 666. I said shiny gems because it said 2 gems right under that. My brain mixed up the lines of words. Joy says cute where I want to see. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Joy. Good morning, Kathleen. Okay, let me switch back to the messages. Okay, so now we're starting the 28th, and it looks like it starts at 10:47 in the morning. Mackenzie says, Dom, stop liking other girls that I'm not cool with. Pics. That's not cool. But can we chill today? Like in an hour? Why are you just not answering me? Dom says, because I've been doing stuff. Mackenzie says, then say something, Dom, WTF. Can we hang out soon? You can take 5 seconds to text me back. Like, Dom says, it's hard to text back without a phone. Mackenzie says, what you mean without a phone? And question, can we hang out soon? Dom says, no, we can't. Mackenzie says, you said we could hang out tomorrow last night. Dom says, when? Mackenzie says, why are you being mean? Scroll up. Dom says, I don't care what I said yesterday. This is what I'm saying now. Mackenzie says, why the fuck are you being a D, Dom? Dom says, because you started being bitchy. Mackenzie says, it makes no sense. I did nothing. No, I didn't. Dom says, when I'm doing something and I don't have my phone on me, it's not possible to answer it. Do you understand? Mackenzie says, yes, Dom, but you usually have your phone. You're making me sad. Sad face. I was just asking you to chill. I wasn't trying to be bitchy at all. Like, you know, I'm sensitive right now. Like, we don't have to chill right now. I just want to hang with you soon. Dom says, I'm busy. Mackenzie says, I could just come over with you if you want to chill, or if you think you're going to be don't early, I'll wait till you're done. Dom says, no, because I'm already mad and you're just going to make me more mad like always. Mackenzie says, how did I make you mad? Why are you being so mean to me? I mean, she literally started the messages by saying, stop liking other girls' pics that I'm not cool with. Like, what does she think made him mad? Yes, thank you, Joy. That's what I was trying to explain. Crap, I lost my place. I hate it when I check comments and I lose my place, but I want to see what y'all are saying. Okay, Mackenzie, why are you being so mean to me? Dom says, I helped my mom clean house and you complain. Mackenzie says, I wasn't complaining. Dom says, you'll call me and be like, answer? That's complaining. Mackenzie says, I just asked why. Dom says, and no one is going to like you if you do that. I'm just being straight up. Mackenzie says, thanks, Dom. Are you trying to make me cry or something? Like, that's so mean. You were ignoring me earlier. I didn't know you were cleaning, but I didn't even spam you. I waited till you didn't answer for 2 hours to call you. I didn't try to make you mad. I tried to chill. Dom, okay. Mackenzie, say more than okay. Be nice to me, Bab. I want to hang with you today. Like, I made browning for us today. Brownies. Dom says, I got to do stuff and I'm behind. Mackenzie says, when you're done, can we chill? I'll let you do your shit. Just don't ignore me, LOL. Dom says, I got to shower, then do some stuff, and then I'm going to chill with Kyle at 4:30. Mackenzie says, when is Kyle leaving? You chilled with Kyle yesterday, too. Can you not chill with him for a long time so we have a daytime to chill? I really want to chill. Dom says, we will be able to chill. I can't tell you when, though. Mackenzie says, okay, bet. I'm about to make a shirt, like bedazzle it. Dom says, make me a dope shirt. Mackenzie says, I need one of your white shirts. I'm going to put trap on my shirt or something cute. I'll make you one soon. Dom says, trap isn't cute, LMAO. Mackenzie says, then what should I put, Dom? Should I do like Dior or something? Or like a star? Dom says, I don't know, for real. Do some dope design. Mackenzie says, okay, I will. It's so nice out. I'm about to go spray paint if you want to come to the lake and join me. Bernie making steaks at your house in 46 minutes. Dom says, LOL, how do you know? Mackenzie says, he told me. What you doing? Dom says, I just ate. I'm about to brush my teeth and probably go do shit. Mackenzie says, can we chill soon? What should I put on the shirt? Dom says, I don't know, for real, that's you. Mackenzie says, I'm putting Dior. It's cute. Can we chill soon? Are we chilling soon? Dom. I just got to say real quick, as an artist, I have a little bit of disdain for people who claim they're so artsy and creative, but their idea of being artsy and creative is to copy a major label's logo or just write their name. You know what I mean? Like you're not creative enough to think of a design. Like that's what Dom's trying to tell her to do. Yeah. Lord. Kathleen says, being lazy, back hurts on the heater in the chair. That's all right. Kathleen's been through a lot with her back lately, so you stay on that heater, girl. We hope you get to feeling better. Pippadot says, no doubt had Mackenzie found a man with money, dabs, rugs, all that, she would take it off straight to him and Dom would still be here. That's what I'm saying, girl. Yeah, I really think so. Kung Fu said, imagine if she wasn't dabbing. Ruth Carroll says, I went to a graveyard in Ireland and the ground was sucking in over the bodies because they didn't use cement box around the caskets. Yeah, we have that in like in the Ozarks too. A lot of times the really, really old graves. Now, obviously in the Ozarks, they're not going to be as old as in Ireland, but we have graves from like early 1800s and late 1700s from first settlers because the native graves were different, obviously. But from the first settler graves, a lot of times they're sunken in like that too because they had to just dig a hole and bury people. Some of my old family graves in the Ozarks are like that too. Some of them are not so bad now because they were buried. A lot of them were buried in a town that doesn't exist anymore because in 1958 the government flooded. Well, the government took their land, took their farms by eminent domain in order to flood the land and make Table Rock Lake in Branson, Missouri, and that was to get electricity. A lot of the Ozarks was still rural enough, didn't have electricity until Table Rock Lake came in the 50s, almost the 60s. And it's an electricity generator, the dam is. And that's when everybody started getting put on a grid. Before that, it would generally just be like a store or some rich people might have a generator or something. And so their graves had to be moved before the lake came in. Like that's a whole story within itself. A lot of people had to go down there and dig people up themselves, dig up their family. My one of my great grandpas had to go down and oversee the digging up of all of our people because the Army Corps of Engineers contractors they hired were saying that graves were empty when they weren't, and just moving on to not have to do the work. They were going to leave the people under the lake. Anyway, I went off on another historical tangent again, people. Let me get back to what we were saying. Okay. So she said, I'm putting Dior. It's cute. Can we chill soon? Are we chilling soon? Dom says, I might ball with Angelo, Bernie, Ashish, and Ryan. Mackenzie says, I'll watch if you cool with that. It's nice outside. Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, so are we not chilling tonight? I'll be 100% cool with that if you let me come over early tomorrow. Babe, I need to show you something right now. Want to go skating tonight? It would be really fun. Please don't ditch me tonight. Dom says, we might be able to do that. I think we done ballin'. Mackenzie says, right now? Dom says, maybe. Mackenzie says, LOL, you maybe right now makes no sense, Bab. Like right now or very soon. Dom says, we probably can really soon. Mackenzie says, okay, we can just meet in the middle skating, LOL. Let me know when. Wait, I think it's raining. Shit. Dom says, I know, it started drizzling. It could probably get better. Don't really matter though. We can night skate. Mackenzie says, can I just come over right now? I'll bring my longboard and then when it's done raining, we can go. Dom says, no, because I'm still chilling with him. Mackenzie says, oh, that's cool. Can we just chill early tomorrow then? LMAO, of course it start raining. So effing hard. Dom says, yeah, it's effed. Is it over yet? Mackenzie says, I don't know. It's rainy pretty bad. Check. You down to chill early tomorrow, right? Dom says, depends on what I'm trying to do. I think it gonna rain. Mackenzie says, let's just chill tomorrow since we didn't get to chill tonight. Let me check. I miss my Bab. Dom says, yeah, I wish we were chilling right now. That's the first time I've ever said Dom say he wants to hang out with her. Crazy. Check comments again real quick. Oh, 1970 with more memberships. Thank you, Bab. Couldn't resist. Oh, man. Kathleen says, this is such a horrible day. I have physical therapy tomorrow. Ugh, more pain. Well, I hope we keep you distracted some, Kathleen. That really sucks. 1970 says he's trying to be a good bab. Yay, Joy. Yeah, I tried to put some painting videos and stuff up in my members only and a lot of my little rambles around my flower gardens and stuff. Anything that, I think would truly actually be really interesting to everyone in the audience, I put out here for all y'all, but me just kind of roaming around being silly. Yesterday, I put up a video of my friend PJ, who's on videos with me sometimes. We went to a Mexican restaurant for lunch yesterday. I put up a little video of that. Okay, let me switch back. So Mackenzie texts Dom the next day on the 29th. She starts at 3:36 in the morning and says, I just woke up all hot and uncomfortable. At almost 1 on the 29th, Dom replies and says, I hate that. Mackenzie says, Dom, it's so nice. We got to hang and be outside all day. I'll bring my spray paint and longboard. It's going to be like 70. Dom says, it's rainy. Mackenzie says, no, it's not. I was just outside. Do you want to hang soon? Dom says, I'm saying it's going to rain. Mackenzie says, yeah, at 5. Dom said, you said it's going to be nice all day. Mackenzie sends an unsure face and says, well, do you want to chill now and then we can do fun shit till it rains? Bab. Dom says, maybe I got to run a couple places. Mackenzie says, when you going? Can I just come with you? I'll wait if not. Dom says, if that was the case, I would have told you. Mackenzie says, you don't have to say it like that. You literally just could have said no, babe. Dom says, okay. Mackenzie says, pray to be done quick so we can hang. Pray? What on earth? Dom says, okay. I forgot to tell you yesterday, Bernie came over and was like, yeah, I'm cooking steak for Dom. And then he cooked it, ate the whole thing, and let me only have one bite. Mackenzie says, WTF, LMAO, how was the steak though? Of course he did that. Dom said, it was pretty good. What should I wear? Mackenzie says, shorts and t-shirts. I'm wearing red top, black shorts. Wear like gray shorts. Dom says, what with the gray shorts? Mackenzie says, maybe a black top or dark blue. Dom says, I don't think that'll work. Mackenzie says, really? What color do you thinking? When you about to be done with the slate with runs? Dom says, I'm made. Leave me alone for a little. I guess he meant mad. Like this is not that far away from they've been talking just fine. Mackenzie says, okay, I give up. What's up now? It's going to be 5 soon. Don't ignore me, Dom. I've been waiting 3 days to chill with you. Dom says, chill. I've been mad. I got to do more shit real quick, then we can chill. Mackenzie says, oh, I didn't think you would still be mad. So in like 30 minutes, bet. I'm longboarding over, so let me know when I can start. What is longboarding? Is that like skateboarding? Dom says, you're going to look so cute longboarding. You can go. That's so weird. Like Dom told her he's mad, leave him alone. Then he's like, you're going to look so cute. Mackenzie says, LOL, okay, coming. Dom says, did you leave yet? Mackenzie says, yes, I'm on my way. And that is all of their text for the 29th. Interesting. Jupo says, I'm running like an hour late. Sebastian Rogers had a micro deletion too. Oh, that's so sad. That might have been who I was thinking of. Kathleen says, Rainbow, my jaw is metal and already my joints got ate up with arthritis. Oh, I hate that, Kathleen. Joy's hearing Godzilla in her head. Oh, man. Pippadot says, or 1970 says, the people who are in these chats are so good, I barely get a chance to moderate. Rainbow says, 1970s, if you need to flex the mod muscles, I can go rogue. Oh, you guys crack me up. And Staples says, longboard is a long skateboard. Thank you. Thank you. I was thinking, surely it had to be because it's not like they're in a place, not like they can snowboard around in April in Ohio, but I hadn't heard that. Gotcha. All right. Let's see what they got to say. On the 30th, they just have literally just a few texts. On the 30th at 3:23 a.m., Kenzie says, "Text me as soon as you're up. My mom was being a bitch and wouldn't let me longer." Dom says, "I had to clean everything up. It sucked. I think I got it all. Okay, come over and cuddle." That was Dom's replies to her. I don't know. That was weird. And then we go to May the 1st. They don't have a lot on May the 1st either. Mackenzie says, "The bump's pretty much gone. Babe, want to hang?" Dom says, "Maybe. I'll let you know if I do." Mackenzie says, "Okay, what you doing?" Dom says, "I'm chilling with Martin and Ty." Mackenzie says, "Oh, that sounds fun. You haven't chilled with them for a while. I was going to ask to hang, but never mind." Wow, that's a first reasonable response she's had to him hanging with someone else. Dom says, "Maybe later or tomorrow." Mackenzie says, "Because it's going to be all nice and shit. Let's just hang tomorrow." Dom says, "I forgot tomorrow Angelo birthday. We can probably still chill." Mackenzie says, "OMG, I forgot about that. We can make a cake tomorrow." Dom says, "I don't know what the plan is." Mackenzie says, "We can just go with the flow tomorrow. Some shit then." Dom says, "For show." Mackenzie says, "What's up now?" Dom says, "I'm just chilling at Who Sneeze. About to go home soon." Mackenzie says, "I'm just laying down for real. I got really bad cramps today." Dom says, "I'm sorry, babe. You want some perks." He was. Okay, so it sounds like Dom was dealing more than weed and shrooms. You know, y'all? Ugh. I mean, the only other way he would have those is if he had a prescription or if somebody close to him had a prescription that he was stealing it from. But by 2020, with the opioid crisis, they weren't exactly just handing those out anymore like they were before. I hate that. I honestly wish I hadn't read that. I wish that wasn't there. I wish Dom hadn't said that. I wish he wasn't dealing perks. You know what I mean? Ugh. Okay, let me continue reading. That just made me sad. Okay, Dom says, "You want some perks?" Mackenzie says, "No, thanks, babe." Dom says, "Chocolate covered?" Mackenzie says, "That's the only way to take one." And Dom says, "Faux show." Mackenzie says, "Text me when you up." Oh, chocolate covered. That makes it worse. That makes it chocolate covered perks. Yeah, I hate that we know this because, Dom has paid an ultimate price for all things he did already. That's so sad, Ruth. Wow. Mackenzie says, "Text me when you up. It's going to be 72. Want to go spray paint?" "Babe, it's like 2. I want to come hang." "When are you going to be done, babe? You said we can do something today." "Babe." "Dom, you said soon." "Dom, for real." "Dom, you can't just tell me soon and then not answer me when it's been over an hour." "Dom, reply. You said soon at 2:19. Dom says, "I'm done now. Let me see what Angelo doing." Mackenzie says, "I've been ready for a long time. Soon usually means 5-10 minutes, not over an hour. Can you come get me now?" Dom says, "It's not about you today, babe. It's about Angelo." "Yeah, because it's Angelo's birthday." Mackenzie said, "I never said it was about me. I'm saying you said we could do some shit because it's nice, and I'm sure Angelo wouldn't care if I was there too. I have really bad anxiety right now because you said soon and I had to wait for an extra long time. I also have to show you some shit. Please let me come hang, Dom. I've been waiting so long." Dom says, "I don't care what I said. You're gonna make me not chill with you." Mackenzie says, "I'll just leave if you guys want to do some shit. Dom, I called you at 2 and you said you would be done soon and we can chill. I don't know why you're getting mad. Like I'm getting really stressed out because I thought we were doing some shit today. Like, don't be mean, Dom. I'm just trying to come over. I was excited AF to finally get to go somewhere with you. I figured we can just go there, then we can come back and do Angelo's B-Day stuff. I really don't want to be inside all day. I want to be outside having fun with you. Please answer, Dom. Why are you being so mean now?" Dom says, We will if you just stop complaining. You just keep complaining. I'm not listening to it. Mackenzie says, I didn't start by complaint. You ignored me all morning, Bab, till I texted you and asked you to hang, and you started to not answer. If I knew soon meant like 2 to 3 hours, I wouldn't have got ready. Like, scroll up to the first stuff I texted you today. I'm honestly upset right now. Sad face. Dom says, yeah, me to you keep complaining. Mackenzie says, I'm not complaining, Dom. Why are you being mean? I'll just ask to hang out, and then you will say soon, and then be mean to me when I get anxious. Like, it's so nice out. We've been talking about today for like a week. Let's go do something. Dom, don't ignore me. Babe, I really want to be outside. Please come get me soon. Please text back. I'm trying really hard not to cry about this. Babe, it's not going to be nice out soon, please. Dom says, stop complaining. Mackenzie says, I did stop. Can you say more than just the same two things? I stopped complaining and you've just dragged it on. I don't know why you're still being like that. Please be nice to me. Dom says, you still complaining. Mackenzie says, no, I am not. Have a normal convo with me. Stop being mean. It's going to start getting colder soon. I want to hang out in like 5 to 10 minutes. Are you still scooping me? Dom says, that's complaining. Mackenzie says, what is? Dom says, what you're saying. Mackenzie says, asking you to hang soon because it's going to get cold out. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, then what? Dom emphasized, have a normal convo with me. Stop being mean. Mackenzie says, telling you to stop being mean to me. Dom emphasized, can you say more than the same two things? Mackenzie says, I'm not trying to. I know you know that. Are you still going to let me come over soon? I've been ready since 2:19. Dom says, no, because you've been complaining. I'm going to wait for Angelo to get out of the shower and then shower. Mackenzie says, can I just come now? Then I'll wait while you shower. So you're going to punish me, huh? It's going to be cold by then. Can't we just chill outside right now? Then you can shower, then we can do anything? Dom, really? Dom says, my phone died, about to shower. Mackenzie says, oh, I thought you blocked me. Can I come over after you shower? Babe, you out? As soon as you're out, can I come over? Are you ignoring me or are you still in the shower? Because you've been showering for really long. Dom says, I'm out. We can chill later. Mackenzie says, Dom, can you just get me after you do whatever you doing? Like, you've been making me wait all day. You didn't chill with me any of the times you told me already today. Or can I just go to your house now when you're home? Then we can chill. Dom says, I didn't even make you wait. I didn't say we could chill. Mackenzie says, yes, you did. I said, want to chill and do some fun shit tomorrow. And you said, for show. Then you said after you hoop and you didn't let me. Can I come over to the house right now and wait? Or can you come get me after your sales? Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, no to both. Why have you been mean all day? You left me on red. Can I come over after your sales? You are making me today very stressful by ignoring me. Dom, answer. Treating me like this isn't cool. You know it makes my anxiety bad, yet you do it anyway. Like, why would you do something that upsets me? Dom, seriously, WTF. I don't know why you think doing shit like this is a game or fun or cool. It's none of these. Like, you told me later, and it's fucking been later. You told me we were going to hang today and do fun shit, and that's what I was expecting, not to be completely shit on. Just know that you're being rude as fuck. Like, you're gonna leave me on red and then ignore me for like an hour. I'm so pissed right now. If I'm the best Bab, then start fucking treating me like it. Like, you're declining my calls. I know you're on your phone. You're probably being so nice and chill to everyone else too. Like, this is fucked up. Why are you just mean some days and then super nice some days? You said we can chill later at 5. If you ditch me for the third time today, I'm going to freak. Can you fucking answer? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You always pull this shit. And those messages came in over a 1 hour and 10-minute period. Dom says, I was rolling a blunt. Mackenzie says, I don't give a fuck. Dom says, because you always do this. Mackenzie says, for 2 hours. You were rolling for 2 hours, Dom. I don't get mad till you start ignoring me. And then for some effing reason, you like have to ignore me for 3+ hours whenever I ask to hang out with you. You said yes, Dom. You told me we can hang. If you don't keep your word, I'm not going to trust you. Dom says, okay, then don't. Mackenzie says, I'm coming over. Like, who says that to your girl? Then don't. You are for real so rude. You really don't know how bad what you're doing affects people with anxiety. You told me we were going to play it by ear and hang tomorrow. I've been waiting all day. I've been ready since the first time you said I can come over. Like, what's the point of saying I can come over after you do something, then ignoring me, then get mad at me for getting mad at you that you're ignoring me? Dom says, okay, I'm leaving then. Mackenzie says, Dom, talk to me without getting off. Like, have a convo with me. You can't just pull this shit on people. It hurts people, and it looks like you could care less. Stop acting this way, Dom. You had me waiting all day. You can't have someone wait all day and then say I can't come hang anymore. Dom says, blocked. Mackenzie says, nope. You better not block me, Dom. What happened to being nice to me? Can you at least apologize for doing this to me? Dom says, it's hard when you irritate the fuck out of me. Mackenzie says, Dom, you told me I could hang multiple times today, and all 3 times you didn't let me come over. When you say I can come, then it's a plan in my head is set on that plan. And if it gets canceled, it makes me have anxiety. Like, why don't you understand? I planned to stay and chill for 2 hours, then I just flipped. I picked an outfit for today too. Why did you leave me on red? Don't be like this, Dom. Don't. Like, I've been trying to chill all day. How do you expect me to be completely cool with you ignoring me for over 3 hours? Like, no one else likes to be ignored, not even you. Question. Oh my God, why the fuck are you leaving me on red? Are you trying to make me upset? I do not get it. Stop being immature as fuck. Like, if you really want to chill, then don't ignore me forever. Like, you're really going to make me wait on here to see if you left me on red for the 400th time? Dom says, I'm not dealing with you today. Mackenzie says, you're the only one being a D. I'm just trying to hang out and you keep ignoring me. Dom says, and I had to leave my house on Angelo's B-Day. Mackenzie says, you chose to leave. Just stop ignoring me and be cool, and I'll be cool too. If you want to be treated good, then treat me good, Bab. You know, all I ever want to do is hang with you. Dom says, I'm not dealing with you today. Mackenzie says, I didn't mean to make you mad. I just got upset when you ditched me. You can just ditch people when you know they get excited. Stop saying that is a D move. Stop being a D. Like, I thought you were just going to let me come on early and we were going to go someplace. I ask you to go out all the time and we can do whatever is planned for Angelo. But no, it ended up me just getting ditched several times in one day. The least you could do is sincerely apologize to me after what you did today. Can you deliver me some dabs, though? Please? Oh my God, she chews him out, demands an apology, and then asks if he can bring her some dabs. Dom says, I'll talk to you later. Mackenzie says, let's just chill early tomorrow. I haven't seen you in 2 days. I missed you. Let me come hang when you up. Oh, that goes into the next day. God. Oh my God. Like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about their craziness. Oh, hey, Toddy. We got Toddy in here. Toddy started going over the Mackenzie stuff way, way back. Kung Fu says if she could have channeled this into a hobby like team cheerleading, she could repeat and scream all day. Right? Good Lord. Rainbow says Kung Fu, her art would have massively benefited from all the time she was bored. Yeah, like when she's bored and complaining about how she absolutely hates her house, do some art. Go to a different place in your mind. You know, Sherlock Holmes would say, go to your mind palace and make some art. Oh man. Okay, we're on to the third now. And at 9:23, after she said, you know, let's just chill early tomorrow, she texts him and says, let me come hang when you up. I just woke up again. It's 72 right now. And then at 12:14, Dom answers, I know, it's nice as if. Mackenzie says, let's hang right now. Let's go to somewhere fun or some shit like we can tan too. Dom, can I come hang, Bab? Dom says, I'm on the way home. Mackenzie says, so you drove far at AF? I'm so confused, LMAO. So you're on the way home from when I call you before, LMAO? Dom says, big plays. Mackenzie says, nice. Did you get some cool shit? When are you going to be home? We got to do something before it's not nice out anymore. Dom says, I'm about to be home. What you want to do? Mackenzie says, we can go to a waterfall or some dope place. Dom says, like where? Mackenzie says, anywhere. I don't know any cool spots. I know you do. LOL. Are you home? Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, can I come over now? Babe, I'm trying to come before it starts getting cold. Can I walk over right now? Dom says, you can come by. Mackenzie says, yay, on my way. What you doing? Oh, that was the end of their text on the 3rd. Then we go to the 4th. On the 4th at 13:31, so about 1:30 in the afternoon, Mackenzie says, what you doing? Dom says, finally eating some breakfast. Mackenzie says, I just ate too, LMAO. What you eating? Dom says, Fruity Pebbles. Again, like, if what people have been saying about them eating so healthy and organic and all this stuff is true, that had to have come way later on because they eat crap right now in 2020. Shorty Pie says, Bab, Bab, Dom. Sounds like a song. Oh, man. Oh, man. Kung Fu says, I had a work permit in school at 15. Kinsey has way too much time on her hands. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, the early 90s, especially in the Ozarks, were kind of a different time and place. But I've had a job since I was 11. And I'll admit, I've been driving myself to work at my job since I was 13. So, yeah, it's kind of hard for me to imagine or comprehend some of the stuff they're complaining about. COID says, run fast. Yeah, that's exactly what Dom needs to do. Kathleen says, oh my God, yes, I do not look the same at all. Have trouble seeing myself. Oh, because of Kathleen's surgery. Yep, Kathleen has back. I think she broke her back. Remember, it's so bad. Shorty Pie says, after getting chewed out, she wanted him to deliver some dabs. Yeah, right? Like, it's always about the dabs. I really think if somebody else could have gotten her dabs, that she would have went ahead and left Dom. Yeah, Elizabeth. I'm pretty old. Like I said, I'm an elder millennial. I was born right at the cutoff to be millennial, not Gen X. And yeah, back then I was homeschooled and I looked like a, Amish kid or something because of the way I was raised. Our conservative religion, I had to wear super long skirts, long sleeves, no cutting the hair and all that kind of stuff. So when the cops saw me driving, they're just like, oh, that's that Pentecostal kid driving herself to work. She's fine. And like I said, it was rural too. So I figured they had bigger things to deal with. Okay, where are we at? Okay, so we start on the 4th, and Mackenzie, like I said, at 1:30. Dom's eating Fruity Pebbles. Mackenzie says, I had waffles. See, she eats crap too, like all the time. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Maybe they have a big diet change in the next couple years. Dom says, I might have to link with Big Homie though. Mackenzie says, who that, LMAO? We can just chill, and if you have to go, then I'll wait for you. Dom says, you can go to my house now if you want. I'll be home in 20. Mackenzie says, okay, I'm going to come soon. I'm still getting ready. I'm on my way now. Dom says, I'm on my way home. Mackenzie says, okay, I will see you soon, babe. And then 6 hours later, she texts him, what you doing, baby? And Dom says, I'm chilling with them right now. So I don't know. I assume she went home since then, but because it's still in the same day, just 6 hours later, and she's asking him what he's doing. And he says, I'm chilling with them. Mackenzie says, what y'all doing? Dom says, we just chilling. Mackenzie says, that's what I'm doing too, LOL. Dom says, LMAO. Mackenzie says, babe, it's getting late. We can just kick it tomorrow early, LOL. Dom says, I can't say yes, because if I can't, you'll throw a fit. Mackenzie replies, gay. I get so annoyed how they constantly use gay as a slur, but yeah, crazy. Um, let's see. I lost my place again, friends. Sorry. Okay, so after Mackenzie called Dom gay for saying that, she's using it as a slur. She says, "What you doing right now? I can stay till 2 if you still want to hang, but if you're tired, we can just link tomorrow. But I need my dabs ASAP." Oh my god. Dom says, "I'm still chilling with them. You got Bud, babes." Mackenzie says, "Okay, but I be too high sometimes." LOL. What does she mean? Dabs makes you way higher than Bud. Yeah, she is desperate for them dabs. Dom says, if they leave, you can come. They might leave. Mackenzie says, okay, babe, I'd rather chill tomorrow because it's more time and we can both too. Oh, she said it's more time, but we can do both too. Mackenzie says, you might have to scoot me and drive me home though if he hang. Dom says, "They left. I don't know if I feel like doing that. It's late and cold because then I'd have to drive back." Mackenzie says, "Yeah, I figured you wouldn't want to. Want to FaceTime and we could just hang tomorrow, but not late like a normal time." And he doesn't reply. And then we go into the 5th. Z Raven says, "I would have turned off red receipts for her, right? Like for real, real. Oh my God." Okay, so on the 5th at almost 9, Mackenzie texts him and says, "Babe, I literally had the most wild dream. Like, we got this huge wedding together, and me and this guy get there. Then I told my mom I don't want to marry him. Then we found out he's not who he seems. So I didn't marry him. I'm so confused." Dom says, "That's a weird dream." Mackenzie says, "I'll tell you more about it when we hang. It's so wild. Babe, are you going to be home soon?" Dom says, "I'm home. You can come in a little. By the way, I'll take things that never happened for 1,000, Alex, on that dream." She's trying to, I think, do like a teenage thing that teenagers do where they make up a dream in order to lead into a conversation they want to have. She wants to ask him if he's really the person that she thinks he is because she wants to marry him and needs to know, in my opinion. What do y'all think? That's my opinion. Dom says, "I'm home. You can come in a little." Mackenzie says, "Okay, bet. Let me know, BB. Can I come now? Questions? I need to take my pill at 4." Dom says, "Sorry, I was on the phone with Big Homie." Who is Big Homie, I wonder? Is that who he gets all of his supply from? Mackenzie says, "Can I come now? It's okay." Dom says, "Come in like 10. We're not really going to be doing nothing." Mackenzie says, "I don't really care. Can I come at 45? That means hella cuddle time." Dom says, "I mean, not really." Mackenzie says, "Kay, can I come at 3:45?" Dom says, "Come at 4." Mackenzie says, "Kay, I'm coming now." Dom says, "Okay." Mackenzie says, "Bab, come back in here. Questions?" Dom, answer. "Babe, LOL." Dom says, "What?" Mackenzie says, "After your mom yelled and coughing, I had to cough, so I coughed so quiet." Dom says, "LOL." Mackenzie says, "Secret cough. What you doing, Bab?" Dom says, "Got a couple things." Mackenzie says, "Can I come, baby? Or after?" Dom says, "After, maybe. I'll let you know." Mackenzie says, "Okay, hit me up in 30." And now we're on to the 6th. Doesn't look like the 6 goes on for very long. I'll keep going, see how long I can do this for. But let me have a quick break, friends. I'm going to refill my coffee. Hang on a sec. Jupo says during lockdown, was it easier to get meds regarding perks and Dom offering them? That's a good question. I don't know. I wouldn't think so, but yeah, I don't know. Good question. Maybe somebody will know who might have had a prescription in that time. Crazy, crazy. Hey, Cherokee girl, good to see you. Bonjour, mon ami. Vive la France. All right, let me go refill my coffee and I will be right back, friends. Okay, I'm back with coffee. Oops. How do I turn off my be right back? I forgot. There we go. Let me check comments again. Right? Yeah, I'm finally starting to feel good. I've been off my antibiotics finally for a couple of days. Stitches are out. Like, knock on wood. I'm glad to hear that, Cherokee girl. She's been having health problems too. She is on the mend. Okay. Let me see back to where I was. Okay, so Mackenzie said, okay, hit me up in 30 after Dom said maybe later she could come. And Dom says, I'm going to be busy for a bit, but I'll let you know we can chill later. Mackenzie says, okay, you do good today, babe. Are you going to be home soon? I'm bored AF and I feel gross. I don't know if I asked you to hang before Kyle did, but I probably did. Can you not hang with him for a long ass time? Because I'm not trying to come over at 7 or 8. I'm going to be tired. Dom says, I'm probably going to ball with Ashish and them. I don't know if Kyle coming over anymore. Mackenzie says, how long are you going to ball? I swear you hang with Ashish so much. Dom says, Ashish is my best friend. Mackenzie says, I'm your bestie too, LOL. Can we hang at 6:30? I'll watch you play for like 20 minutes. Dom says, no. Mackenzie says, Dom, you said we could hang later. I hate getting ditched. Dom says, you're not getting ditched. And if you throw a hissy fit, I'm just not chill with you. Mackenzie says, I'm not throwing a fit. It's called a convo. Dom says, okay, well, I'm not going to have the convo like that. If you want to have a convo like that, I won't chill with you. Mackenzie says, you are being mean. Or why are you being mean? Like I'm not even being bitchy. Just be normal. Dom says, because I'm not trying to hear it. And you always got to complain. You never say okay. You always say something else. Mackenzie says, me saying okay 2 times to you? Dom says, okay, we not chilling today. Mackenzie says, you're really not going to let me come over and shower? Dom says, sorry, I'm super aggravated now. Super. Mackenzie says, wow, you start being mean to me, and when I prove myself, you don't let me come shower when you've been saying I can come shower at your house for days. I've been telling you I feel gross all day. Like, are you kidding me? You can't just tell me something multiple days in a row, and then when it's finally time, you say no. If you do me like this, I'm for real going to be really upset and mad. Why does she need to shower at his house? Like, what's is something going on at their house? She hasn't mentioned it. Anyway, Dom says, no, too bad. You could have yesterday. Mackenzie says, N-word WTF. Like, oh, their slurs go on and on and on. They never end. They use gay all the time as a slur. They use the N-word on each other. Like, it's, nuts. Mackenzie says, you are for real so rude for what? No, too bad. Who the fuck says that shit? I need to effing shower. I haven't showered in days. I can't control when the fucking water comes back. Stop getting mad so easy. Okay, they're out of water. Dom says, just stop complaining and I'll hit you up when I'm done bawling. Mackenzie says, are you going to be done soon? Do you want to go to Mapleside and watch the sunset and smoke a blunt? Never mind. Can you answer? It's getting late. Dom says, what's up? Mackenzie says, can I come over now? It's late as fuck. LOL, you just said, what's up, Dom? Answer the phone. Dom says, I'm still chilling with them. Mackenzie said, I'm honestly annoyed as fuck. Like, you tell me we can chill later, then you just bail on me for Ashish to play video games. Like, I've been waiting all day and all I wanted to do was effing shower. I feel so effing gross now. And now I have to go another night feeling gross. Dom says, you can still come over tonight and shower. Mackenzie says, I'm not going to effing wait. I waited all day and it's like 9 o'clock. My body does not want me to shower this late. You see them all the time. I even left your house the other day so you could hang with them when we have plans. Can you please just not push them back to like 9:10 because it makes my day stressful? Dom says, okay, you can come over and shower tomorrow. Mackenzie says, so I wait all day to get effing clean. Then have to get told that I have to wait another day. Whatever, I'm coming over early tomorrow. You really don't know how frustrating this is. Dom says, I said you could come today, but then you said you didn't want to. Mackenzie says, I don't want to wait to shower at 10 or 11. Like my mom goes to bed at 10 or 11 if I'm not already at your house. Dom says, so what do you want me to do? Mackenzie says, I wanted you to let me come over before 9 to shower. I asked you at like 10 a.m. to shower at your house today. I'm not even going to try. I'm so salt. You for real could have tried to make a little time to hang with me sooner so I could shower. Now you're going to just leave me on red and not answer for 3 hours. Dom says, sorry, you can just come tomorrow. Mackenzie says, whatever, I'm coming early tomorrow. And that was the end of their text on the 6th. Let me see how long the 7th goes on for. The 7th goes on for quite a while, but yet it's not like crazy long. So I'll keep the marathon going. See how long I can read these today. Let me check comments real quick. Pippadot 1980, do you have a public email? Yes, let me put it in chat. It's kind of long. It's just my channel name, 1980 millennial commentates at gmail.com. I put it in the chat so that it's easy to see. Now, I throw people off sometimes because I spell millennial with one N. And every now and then people are like, why are you misspelling millennial? And why are you even calling yourself a millennial when Gen X is 1980? 1980 is Gen X. So here's what the deal is. When I was first making my channel, I didn't want to say the exact year I was born, trying not to be stalked and hacked and doxxed and all that stuff. And so I was going to do 1980s millennial. And I felt like that was just a little bit like clunky and long. So I just did 1980 millennial. And then I couldn't remember offhand, does millennial have one or two N's? So I Googled it. And when you Google it, it says that millennial can be spelled both ways with one N or two N's. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll go with the shortest one, still trying to make my channel name less clunky. And so I went with the shortest one, and it turns out it is not common at all for people to spell millennial with one N. So yeah, sorry, just a little random trail there about my channel name. You're welcome, Joy. Secret Wars says, holy stress balls with these texts, right? Oh my God, you need like stress balls under your feet to stomp on, one in each hand, and like a big wad of gum to chew in your mouth reading these texts. Crazy, crazy. Secret Wars says, Gen X 100. Yeah, I was born right on the cutoff line to be an elder millennial, but because of the way I grew up, like I didn't go to public school other than like second grade. I was homeschooled after that, and way out on the back dirt roads and kind of a cloistered religion for most of my teen years. So there's a lot of like stuff that every millennial kid knows and experience that is not there for me. I don't know anything about it. That's also why a lot of people hear my humor sometimes and just assume that I'm Gen X, especially with me being confusing about my channel name. It says, Cherokee girl, my mom at 21 has simple gallbladder surgery, kept in the hospital 15 days. Oh, yeah, it used to be crazy. Pippa surgeries back in the day were wild. Wild, wild. Okay, let's see what they got to say on the 7th. At 10:40, Mackenzie says, text me when you up. And exactly an hour later, she texts, for real. And Dom says, what? Mackenzie says, okay, can I come over at 12:30? Dom says, why so early? Mackenzie says, because you screwed me over yesterday. 1. Dom says, no, I didn't. Mackenzie says, I'm coming over early today at 1 or 1:30, no later, because I need to shower like I did yesterday, and I want to hang too. Dom says, okay, maybe. Mackenzie says, Dom, oh my God, like, are you trying to make me mad? Dom says, why? Mackenzie says, you want to know why again? Dom says, I'll hit you up if you can come over. Mackenzie says, inward? I am coming over early. You stopped me from showering yesterday, and I am showering before 4 today. Dom says, I'll hit you up when you can come over then. Mackenzie says, I'm not going another day feeling gross. Dom says, don't be so mean or I'm not going to want to chill. Mackenzie says, and I don't want you telling me what you just said, then just saying after. Okay, I read that right. I had to double check. And then she says in all caps, Dom, I couldn't sleep last night because of how gross I feel. And then Dom says in all caps, okay, Kenzie, good to know. I'll let you know when you can come over. Mackenzie says, what the fuck? I'm coming over before 4. Dom says, I don't like that attitude, but okay. Mackenzie says, I want to shower now, but we both know you're not going to let me come right now. Dom says, I could be here or I could not be here. Mackenzie says, oh my God, how about you effing put in some effort like I'm struggling at my house and has no hot water right now. You're going to be rude about it. Dom says, you're rude first. Mackenzie says, Dom, because you ditched me for ashish when you said I could come shower. And then I couldn't sleep at all because of how gross I feel. If I just showered yesterday, none of that would have happened. Dom says, that's not what happened, but okay. Mackenzie said, then what did? Dom said, I told you I could shower after I bawled and you started being impatient and bitching at me, so I didn't let you come. Mackenzie says, so you chose not to let me come shower. You told me you were still chilling with them at 9:30. Dom says, I told you that. Mackenzie said, I swear to God, how many times do I have to tell you I feel fucking gross and I need a shower ASAP? Dom says, you know what? I don't care. I'm just going to get ready and dip. You can come at 4. I won't be here. Mackenzie says in all caps, I'm not. Dom, I'm not showering without you there. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you trying to make me freak out? I need to shower. You could told me I could shower at your house. Then you do this? Like, what the fuck? Dom says, stop pissing me off then. Mackenzie says, I need to shower. Dom says, you keep saying things that didn't even happen. Mackenzie says, what did I say that didn't happen? I'm not fucking showering without you being at the house. Oh my God, I'm for real about to freak out. Dom says, you keep mixing up what happened in your head. That's not how it happened. Mackenzie says, Dom, you ignored me till 8 o'clock. Then I asked when I can come. Then you answer at 9. Then you told me you were chilling with them still. Dom says, I don't care. I'm done with this conversation before I just throw the whole thing away. Mackenzie says, Dom, I want to shower before 4. I want to shower at 1:30. The next time, don't tell me yes if you're just going to make it such a struggle for me. Hell no. Why are you so mean? Like, I need to shower, Dom. Stop being so mean to me. You made me so sad. You can't just scream at me on the phone and then not let me say anything. Please stop being mean to me. Dom says, nah, I'm sick of your shit. You always trying to make me freak out and shit. Fuck you. Mackenzie says, and you said you can't even enjoy your morning. I didn't enjoy yesterday or last night because of how gross I feel. Dom says, go shower somewhere else. Mackenzie says, where? You're going to do me like that? Dom says, I don't know. Sounds like a you problem. Mackenzie says, you are so mean. Do you want me to just come over and shower right now? Dom says, too late. I'm already showering, then leaving. Mackenzie says, Dom, you are showering right now. I could have literally come over with you. We could have just showered together. Why do you treat me like this? This is the shit that makes me hate myself. I could have been showering with you right now, but you had to make a whole big deal and be mean as fuck. Dom says, I wasn't going to shower right now, but now I'm going to leave. Mackenzie says, no, please let me come shower. Why can't you help me? Like, you're just going to let me suffer? Dom says, text me one more time. You blocked on everything. Mackenzie says, wow, you're fake. You better not block me. Dom says, done. Mackenzie says, I'm coming over. Dom says, N-word, now I can't even shower. Okay, I guess I'm leaving right now. If you come here again, we got serious problems. Mackenzie says, if you block me, we're going to have serious problems. It's really upsetting to see how you can just be so mean when I need to shower. Like, if you're showering right now, you're showering right now. If I just came right now, it would be easy AF. You're just making this so bad for me. I wanted to shower with you. You can't do this to me. You are so fucking mean. We could have just showered together. Then you scream at me like, fucking help me. I can't be doing this shit. Like, what you did to me hurts. I deserve nothing but love, especially from you. All I needed was a shower. I wanted to shower with you. Why couldn't you just let me now before you started to shower? Like, I feel like you're just trying to hurt me. I want to shower. If I end up having to go to some public ass place to shower, I'm going to be so upset. I'm not sitting at home all day. Let me come shower after you shower. Dom says, I already left. Mackenzie says, wow, when the fuck are you going to be back then? I need to shower. Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, oh my God, try. I really need to shower and I'm out of dabs again. Turn red on right now. Oh, look at that. I can't remember which one of you was saying earlier I would have turned off the red receipts. He apparently just turned off the red receipts. I can't read that one, Cherokee girl, but thank you for the super chat. I know so few French words. It sounds like she might be leaving the chat. Might have something to do. Kung Fu says, you will not shower my house. You will not shower, scream, and grouse. You will not use up my soap and dabs. I wish you would stop texting, Babs. Oh, that's awesome. That is perfect. Oh, man. Good one. Good one. Good one. Secret War says, I knew it was because she wanted to try to get him in the shower, right? Ruth Carroll says, emphysema. It's not always caused by smoking. Oh, man. Do you have emphysema, Ruth Carroll? That's awful. If so, yeah, some people get that from, asbestos and stuff in the past. Crazy, crazy. Joy says, I don't use read receipts. No business knowing when I read your sheet. Right. Oh, Ruth says, Kathleen, you can be born with it too. Oh, wow. Wow, wow. Okay, let me jump back to the messages. Cracked me open. She said, and I'm out of dabs again. It's always about the dabs with her, Dom says, sorry, you pissed me off. I need to smoke blunts with Trevor. Mackenzie says, I swear to God, turn red on. Dom, no, you don't. You hang with the boys way more than me, and I need a shower. Like, can you let me come shower? If you don't turn red back on, we're going to have a serious issue. Dom says, the boys don't make me have a mental breakdown. Mackenzie says, oh my God, it's like you're trying to make me flip out. Turn red back on. Oh, you got a mental breakdown for your girl? Ask him to come take a shower at your house because she has no hot water? And then she sent the same message again. Dom says, yeah. Mackenzie says, turn red on. You don't want me to do what I'm going to do if you don't. Why are you being a D? Yeah, Dom says, you're threatening me. Yeah, she is. She says, you don't want me to do what I'm going to do if you don't. She threatens him all the time. And I think eventually she followed through with her threats, friends. Mackenzie says, like, turn it on right now. I'm coming to Trevor's. Fuck you. You're trying to hurt me for no reason. See you soon. You're being a straight D to me for no reason. You told me yesterday I could come shower at your house today. Turn your red back on right now. I'm fucking coming. I can't believe you. You treat me so shitty just because you feel like it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you don't keep your word with me ever. You always end up switching up. I know where Trevor lives, Dom, and I'm about to walk over there. Maybe he'll let me shower. Those came in over a period of 6 minutes. Dom says, I'm not at Trevor's. Mackenzie says, then I'm coming to everyone's house to find out. And Dom sent her some kind of picture. It just says attachment. He probably sent her a meme that told her to F off or something. Mackenzie says, you treat me like shit. Please. So you're just going to shower without me, then lie about leaving, then turn red off like you're breaking my heart. You probably changed my contact too. You need to learn how to treat people that would do anything for you. Because if you keep treating me like this, I'm going to stop being nice as fuck to you because I should have started treating you how you treat me long ago. No, now you're not going to answer. How cute. Answer right now. Fuck you. I'm going to Lincoln's when you're done being unloving and you're a D. You can apologize to me. At least I have friends that care about me and that will let me shower at their house. If our mom says no, I'm coming over to your house. Answer. What the fuck? LOL, you are such an asshole. Dom says, what? Mackenzie says, I'm coming over right now. I need to shower. And Lincoln's mom said no. Answer now. I need to shower right now. Ooh, and on D&D too. I guess that means I'm just going to come.
Dungeons and Dragons. I live in a world of cold steel.
I cannot stop laughing about thinking that was Dungeons and Dragons for so long, friends. Rainbow says, she says she hasn't seen evidence to prove she's guilty. Oh, I'm not sure who you're referring to. Fluffy Stingray says, that's her being nice. Yikes. Right? Yeah. Starlight thinks it. Yeah, a lot of people think she's innocent. And I'm like, that's cool. It's a free country. I don't right now. I'm open to seeing more evidence as I continue reading these. And I'm open to the possibility that my mind can change. But I think she's guilty. I think she did have some self-unaliving thoughts And when she decided to hit that building, she knew that she might go out with him, and in an impulse in the moment just didn't care, and then she got lucky. That's just my thoughts. Like I said, they could stay. Hey, Fluffy Stingray, good to see you. Oh, yeah, Lisbeth, the hot water is out, is what she said. Okay, let me switch back here. Where was I at? Okay, Dom says, oh, it was on the D&D. Okay. Mackenzie says, I need to shower. And Dom says, I'm not home, so it doesn't matter. Mackenzie says, you are rude. You really left again? Like I told you, I'm not showering without you being there. And we both know if I come over and shower now, you're not going to come back to your house like you always do. Go to your house. Like you make the most simple thing hard as fuck. It takes me like 30 minutes to shower. I'm sure you can be home for 30 minutes so I can fucking shower. Where are you? Dom says, I'm not home. Mackenzie, I know, you said that. Go home so I can shower. Yeah, if I go to your house right now, will you come back soon? Why the fuck would you say you're not home again? Like, duh, what the fuck? You ducking already said that. Like, why can I never get more than the same three answers from you? Say more than no, okay, I'm not home. You better come back if I go to your house. Can you reply like, what the fuck? I'm going to your house right now and then I'm going to wait to shower. You're all back. Okay? Questions? Dumb answers so I can fucking shower. I'm honestly so shocked of how you treated me today. This is probably the most mean you've been in a while. I for real thought you were really going to just be nice to me all the time. You need to answer right now. You selfish. Dom says, hang on a sec, friends. Those all came in a period of 20 minutes. Dom says, go shower and smoke something. I'll come home later. Mackenzie says, how much later? I'm not waiting all day. Dom says, I don't know. Mackenzie says, I'm on my way. I'm serious. You better be back before 4. It's late, or we gonna have to talk about some shit. Dom says, can you just come later? Mackenzie says, now. Caps. No. Patrick is here. This is why I wanted you to be here while I fucking shower. Dom says, yeah, they weird. Mackenzie says, yep, so now I can't even shower till you're here until they leave. I'm so mad. I just want to be clean. Dom said, you should have showered the other day. How is everyone else showering? Mackenzie says, no one is. They waiting for the machine. I'm not going to do that. Dom says, I said twice you could shower. You didn't. Yeah, he did. He told her she could come over and shower and he just wouldn't be there. Mackenzie refuses. Mackenzie says, when? You said I could shower when they leave last night. My mom goes to bed at 10 when I'm not at your house. The right thing to do is to come back and stay here while I shower. Dom says, you just keep being so extra, so I don't want to come back. Mackenzie says, I'm not being extra. I'm just saying I want to shower. Just come back and stop being a D. Dom says, I don't know if I'll come back today. Mackenzie says, are you kidding me? That's so rude. Like, if you don't come back, I can't shower. Dom says, well, I didn't want you to come that soon. Mackenzie says, I don't care if you come back, grab shit and leave. Dom says, no, you lying. Mackenzie says, you said go shower, so I went to your house. No, I'm not. Why would I lie? I like to keep my word. Like, I won't care if you come back and leave if you are done with whatever you're doing at a reasonable time so I can shower. Just come back so you can leave again and be back soon. I really want to shower, but I want you to be with me while I do. Dom, I'm taking a dab right now. Question? Can you reply fast? Like, I'm bored as fuck. I just want to fucking shower. Dom says, can I chill with Sheen at 6? Mackenzie says, yeah, I don't care. You never see him. If you come back right now, just come back. Then you can chill with Sheen whenever, LMAO. Dom, call back. Dom says, if I'm not doing anything later, I'll pick you up. Mackenzie says, okay, you got home just in time. Dom says, why is that? Oh, because it's 6. Mackenzie says, yeah, perfect timing. What you doing, Bab? Dom says, Sheen and Kyle just left. Got to slide to Trevor's, though. Mackenzie says, okay, that's fine. If you think you're going to be home before it's too late. If not, we can just chill early tomorrow. Dom says, I got to eat and then go there. So I don't know. We're probably going to smoke too. Mackenzie says, whatever you want to do, babe. And that's the end of their text for the 7th. JK says, girl, boil some water and take a bath, right? Like, oh man, we've been out of water so many times whenever I was a kid in the Ozarks. The water would freeze up in the winter. And yeah, you boil some water on the stove, put it in the bathtub, and then run the cold in it until it's the right and take a bath. It's not that hard. Oh man, Kung Fu Panda says she could probably fit in the sink like another one we know. That's the dang truth. Hey, Panda Butt 12, good to see you. Rainbow Ribbon says, Mackenzie, it's not me, it's you. Secret War says, I hate to say it, but I agree. I think in the heat of the moment, she didn't care if she lived. That's the feeling I just keep getting. Like, yeah. Right, Kung Fu, that cracked me up. Go shower and smoke something. um, yeah, I heard that called the same thing as rainbow ribbons. That's what I always heard that called. Oh man. Well, friends, we've been on for almost 3 hours. I feel bad. Panda Butt just got in here, but I'm starting to get hungry. So I'm going to have to shut this down and get some food. But if I'm feeling good this afternoon, I might pop back on here. 1970 says she had her seatbelt on right and the guys didn't. I think she did. And I'm pretty sure we've heard that she normally didn't wear it. I have seen some videos and pictures of her with a seatbelt on occasionally, but we've heard from her friends that normally she didn't. Yeah. So I am going to go ahead and end this here, friends, and get myself some food. Like I said, if I'm feeling good this afternoon, I might pop back on. But I really appreciate all you jumping in here with me and seeing what we can figure out. Ruth Carroll says it's no wonder he keeps her sedated. Oh man. Yeah, thank you, Panda Butt, for popping back in. And you, Secret Wars, glad you're able to catch it. I'm gonna do that. Definitely gonna do that. Thank you too, Ruth and Joy. Well, have a good day, friends.